Shabbat Shalom. Brother Jay Morris, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, it's nice and toasty in here. Brother Daryl Vick, Shabbat Shalom, bro. Can one of y'all give me a handkerchief, a rag? Brother Tom Sturgill, Shabbat Shalom. Yasha Rala, Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah. Woo-wee. Thank you. Mr. Arbel Sr., Shabbat Shalom, brother. Shabbat Shalom. Yes. Well, I don't know, Brother J. Morris. It was in the 40s today. That was nice. But the low was like 13, I think. What about you? I don't know how we could beat what you've been having, when you be sending them videos, brother. I'd be like, woo! It's funny because we had ice in the roads out here, and it reminds me of California. Every time it rained in California, for some reason, everybody lost their damn mind. Out here, when it snows, and the roads freeze, there's always cars down embankments, um, turn backwards on the shoulder. There's always something going on. Somebody's always trying to, they be trying to hit these turns. And when you live out here, they be having the wild roads where the turns are pretty, the angle or the degree is pretty sharp. People always end up, there's always some guardrail that got jacked up, some sign that got knocked over. that's the way it goes. Woo. For the last week, except for 2 days, it's been mid-30s. Wow. Well, yeah, y'all got us. Hallelujah, Yasharallah. May the Most High bless this live and give you utterance to edify woman and man. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Woo. Y'all will. I do not plan on going long tonight. Now, I said that last week. And, well, yeah, we know what happened there. I'm gonna try to stay focused. That's one of the, I like responding to the commenters and all of y'all who take the time to listen and have something to say. I actually try to take the time to read it and respond to it. Now I need to do a better job of my videos, so forgive me. I'm going to do a better job of responding to those that comment in my videos. I become slack at that. Pick it up, so I'm going to be doing that a little bit more. But sometimes it's hard to stay a little bit focused when, some of the comments are a little bit off. But I try to respond to everybody's comment. irregardless. If you can, if you have your Bible, we're going to be in Matthew 24. We're not going to be long, Yah willing. I know I said that already, but I'm trying to tell myself that. Just wanted to discuss some things. Distractions, complacency, lack of focus. And in reality, most don't care. But at the same time that all this is, all these distractions are taking place, there is so much going on. There is so much going on that is taking place in this world that if we don't become more active, become more proactive in what we're doing, so many, and it's sad to say this, I say this, with a heaviness, actually, because I actually do care about those that are in this faith, that are truly living it. I truly do care. But I believe that, in a lot of ways, so many people have taken on the complacency attitude. We want everybody else to do the work for us so that all we have to do is just kind of step in. And doesn't work that way. Doesn't really work that way. We have to actually do the work. We have to actually prepare our households physically, prepare our households spiritually, put back food, do the things that you need to do so that you will be ready as these times come, as these times get worse. I continue to get messages and emails and pictures and videos from people all over the world right now, all over the world. I mean, not just this country. Like I said, I have brothers in Brazil. I have some that listen to me in Argentina. I just found out, that's why I made a reference to it in the stream with it yesterday. Chile, Mexico, South Africa, Australia. I have even a couple people in, I can't remember the, Thailand. I got brothers and sisters all over Europe, and in this country, I'm getting a lot of reports of people who are just simply saying the food's just not there on the shelves. And people who work at different stores, Walmarts, who are saying that Walmart is removing whole aisles, and they're hiding it under the description of, well, we're trying to make it more convenient for y'all, so there's more space in between the aisles, but they're removing whole aisles out. Walmarts are going through remodels right now. All over this country, they're remodeling. And I don't know if you noticed that as they're remodeling, they're removing shelves. They're removing shelves. Food is going to be one of the biggest issues that we have in this country. And I hope if you're here that you watch the movie or plan on watching the movie, Don't Look Up. There is so much in that movie that it tells of how we are today in this culture, how complacent we are, how in the movie, comets come into Earth, and Leonardo DiCaprio and I can't remember the other girl's name. They find they see it. They work they're Michigan State, observatory, and they see this comet coming to Earth, and they're trying to sound the alarm. They're trying to be essentially what the Bible says the watchman is. He's sounding the shofar. And they went to the president. Well, first they went to the president, and the president delayed them. And then after they told them, the president didn't want to do anything about it. Kind of like, sweep it underneath the rug. And they didn't want to do anything about it until it was beneficial to her presidency. the midterm elections were coming up, and they just found a scandal on her. So now she wants to put this thing out here about, oh, a comet's coming to Earth, and we're trying to do everything we can. Then when they're about to go and rescue the world, they decide not to because they found this rare earth minerals, or there's rare minerals on that comet. And they want to mine the comet instead of stopping the comet from, spoiler alert. They want to mine the comet instead of stopping the comet. So throughout the whole movie, it's just distraction and complacency, and everything's being done to distract the people from what is actually happening until the end of the movie. And there is no happy ending at the end of this movie. But they were trying to be watchmen. They were trying to alert the people about this comet that's coming to Earth. It's an extinction level event. It's this big time thing, and nobody wants to do anything about it. The Bible talks about that, about the watchman. The watchman tried to warn. The watchman sounds the shofar to let people know what's going on, and people didn't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And that's, I believe, one of the saddest things that takes place amongst us, whether homeborn or stranger, is we don't want to do anything. Oh, Divine Branham, you good, brother? No need to apologize, brother. No need to apologize. Just glad to see you here. Hallelujah. So, I one of the saddest things is, when you try to alert the people, especially the people you care for, your brothers, your sisters, you try to alert them, and there's that overall complacency. There's that lack of movement. There's that lack of anything, because I don't know, we've taken a very passive approach to life. We've taken we abort the physical aspects of walking out in this faith, and we make this faith specifically about some spiritual existential experience. But yet when we read throughout the Bible, our people did physical things. When they went to war, they physically went to war. When they planted food, they physically ate the food. When they got married, they physically got married. We love the physical aspects of life when it comes to the things that suit us. For instance, how many people are interested in spiritual sex? I'm just saying. How many of y'all brothers, when it came to being one flesh with your wife or wives, how many of you, and what I mean by one flesh is you're one flesh with her, and then you're one flesh with her. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't do that. But how many of us are interested in being spiritually one flesh and spiritually one flesh alone? We ignore the physical. We ignore the fact that when it comes time to eat, you eat physical food. When it comes time to being warm, you turn on a physical heater. Right now I'm next to my wood stove. I have to physically cut wood throughout the spring, summer, and fall so that my wood shed is completely stacked, so that I could burn the wood, or my family can burn the wood, so that they can physically be warm. I don't let the house freeze and then, get on my knees and say, Father, please let my family be warm. And while you're at it, I don't want to work, so please feed them too. You know what, Father? I'm a patriarch, and I want to have a large family. So can you spiritually impregnate my wives? Please, can you just spiritually impregnate them? Come on now. There's a physical aspect of it. And there's a spiritual aspect of it. First that which is natural, then that which is spiritual. There's a physical and a spiritual aspect of it. When people put on extra weight, they're not putting on extra spiritual weight, they're putting on extra physical weight. Now, there could be spiritual ramifications that are causing you to put on that physical weight, but you're physically eating food. When you commit a sin of the flesh, whoremongering, you are physically doing that thing. After it takes place up here, and then your body follows. But when it comes to preparing our households when it comes to what we see, we abort the physical aspects of things, and we fall into the, I mean, Paul talked about it. I mean, he worked. It's just it's amazing. It's amazing. We abort and we flee from the physical aspects of working and preparing for our house, preparing our household and getting ourselves ready so that we could pray all day. And there ain't nothing wrong with prayer. But when you have a responsibility as a man to you and your household, I'm just going to be real. There's times that you just got to get stuff done. You got GSD. You got to get shit done. If somebody were to try and hurt or harm my family, sure, I pray spiritual protections over my family all the time. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, hey, there's going to be some physical shit flying. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send some physical protection methods, not to be aggressive, not to try and hurt and harm somebody who is not trying to hurt and harm me. I'm talking about for the protection of my family. There's gonna be some physical things that take place. That's like telling a hungry, naked brother to be filled and warmed and filled without giving him the physical clothing and food. That's right. The book talks about that. Yep. What book? What is that at? Isn't James? There it is. Yep, James chapter 2. James chapter 2, verse 14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be you warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needed to the body, what doth it profit? Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. Do you understand what that means? You can have all the faith that you want to. The book says, without the works, your faith is dead. If you don't have works with your faith is absolutely useless and fruitless. We know what Yeshua said about the fruitless trees, and to cut it down and cast it into the fire. And I think that from what I see a lot of men and women have fruitless, faithless lives. They live in dead faith, but they keep trying to do CPR and resuscitate a dead faith. You can't resuscitate a dead faith with prayer. You have to go and start doing something. You got to go and start putting the works to what you believe. Otherwise, what you believe is nothing. I don't care how eloquent you sound. I don't care about all the hyper spiritual stuff that you got going on. Without the works, your faith is dead. And that's the problem that we have today. We have more people, and I'm just going to keep it real. We have more people that are willing and ready to pray for somebody, but we don't have brothers that are actually able to do works to help somebody. We don't have enough brothers out here who are actually, the harvests are plenty, but the laborers are few. We have very few brothers, very few sisters who are actually putting forth the labor. It's just all talking. It's all pontificating. That's all it is. Because largely of the distractions. We have become so distracted, thus fruitless. And those distractions are coming from everywhere now. The more and more that I look at what's going on in the world, I look at what's going on. See, I know a lot of stuff. I have a lot of people that come and talk to me about different things. I have a lot of people who are part of groups and camps and ministries who come and tell me stuff about what's going on in their particular church, camp, ministries. I get videos sent to me. Hey, brother, did you see this video about this? Did you see this video? I don't even have time to watch all this stuff. I don't even have the time to watch all this stuff that I'm being sent. But the one thing that I always fall into that question of is, you've been sending me the information for about 8 months, brother, 2 years, brother, 3 years, brother, and you're still in the same position. You're still listening to the same people that you're questioning. And it's so sad that you hear people say, brother, I can't get out. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, so how is it the truth if you're in bondage, brother? Sister, how is it the truth if you say, I don't know what to do without them? Something as simple as having your wife teach a brother's wife how to can, there it is love manifested because you're teaching them how to provide for their family. I'm glad you said that, Mother Elaine, because that's one of the things I'm going to be doing a little bit more on this channel, is we're going to be talking and doing a little bit more showing how we do things. Because what she said is perfect. And at times that we're in, it's surprising how many sisters don't know how to can. So I'm gonna have Sister Ebony and Sister Tanisha do a video on canning, how we do it. Is it the most eloquent way? No, it's probably not. There's probably many other videos, but the problem is that for some people, I'm glad you said that, Mother Elaine. For some people, the idea of canning food has never even came to our head. It's never come to our head, ever. We'll listen to our favorite Bible study on the internet, but we're not learning practical skills that are going to save us in these times that are coming. And canning, I mean, the Walmarts right now have canning supplies. The problem is that people don't have a lot of money right now, but the Walmarts have canning supplies. That's one of the reasons why I show how to garden. I'm showing on the Patreon channel, and I'm going to release the Patreon videos out on YouTube eventually. So if you can't afford the Patreon, don't worry. You can still send me an email if you really want to know how to propagate a plant, and I have no problem showing you. I have no problem showing you how to do it. The Patreon was not supposed, let me just say it as a disclaimer. Patreon is not a way for me to put knowledge behind a wall. That's not what it's about. So all the videos that are on Patreon are going to be released on YouTube. The point of Patreon is because so many people had asked me, hey, brother, I'd like to give, but I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to watch your ads, whatever. That's what the Patreon channel is about. And I decided, you know what? Why not give them some content? Why not put some content out there? Why not, for those that are blessing me, allow me to bless them back? So for those that are on the Patreon channel, you know that I send out free mint cuttings. I send out free okra. I don't ask you to send me a stamp or anything. I just send me an address and I'll send it to you. For those that were the originals, I have a big old bin full of root cuttings that I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna show y'all this. For those that are on the Patreon channel, when I told y'all I'm producing propagations for y'all, look. I am a man of my word. I have 3 types of cuttings in here, or propagations. I have pears that are on, let me see, it'd be your left side, I believe. This side, I have pears. In the middle, right here, I have elderberries. And right here, I have figs. Because I told you all that I was going to be propagating these things because I love the idea of helping Yah's people. And for those that have taken the time to support me, why not? Why not? So I am a man of my word. I am propagating these plants so that for those that are on the Patreon channel, I'm going to be, as I said I was going to, I am going to be sending you if you want a propagation cutting, a pear propagated cutting, an elderberry propagated cutting, or a fig propagated cutting, I'm going to send you one. So I know a lot of people have been buying seeds and saying, hey, brother, I'd like a cut. If you're on the Patreon channel, don't worry. You don't have to send me or buy it from me. All you have to do is when they're ready, they'll probably be ready mid-spring, send me your address and I'll send you one. Because I said I was going to do it. Because I actually do have a love for, first, what I'm doing, And I also have a love for those that are truly trying to walk this thing out. Really have a love for it. But we have to get to a point where we are ready and willing to sacrifice those things that we have held so dearly if you want to make it through the times that are coming. If you plan on making it through the times that are coming, you better be ready. But there are so many distractions out there right now. Going back to what I was saying, the amount of brethren, the amount of sisters, the fact that so many are unwilling to take the first step to the rest of your life, the first step to actual freedom. It reminds me, back of stories, old writings that, are out there, even slave writings for those that could write during slavery, when there were many times that there was going to be a great escape. There was going to be some slaves that left the plantation. But there were always those that heard the plan and went to the master. There were always those that, well, I can't leave. I'm scared. Scared of what? What are you scared of? You're in bondage. You said it yourself out of your own mouth. You're in bondage. Would you refuse to get up and go? Tanisha. All right. So it's just it's baffling. It's baffling the amount of people that are willing to stay in bondage, that are willing to stay in their position, and they're hoping for somebody else to save them. But they don't want to take the responsibility themselves of doing the work because you've been pacified. How many people today have been pacified by your pastors, your elders, your teachers, your leaders who tell you, hey, we hear from y'all and we'll tell you what the book says? You've been pacified. Hey, the government's going to take care of you. You don't got to worry about it. You've been pacified. All you have to do is call the police and they're going to come and help. You've been pacified. You don't have to protect your family because the police are going to do it. You've been pacified. You don't have to plant food because all you have to do is go to the grocery store. You've been pacified. It's the doctor's job to take care of your health. They're the first line defendants to your health. You've been pacified. But whenever you talk like this, people say, well, you're a rebel. You can call it, you can say it, whatever, you can say whatever you want to say about it. But the one thing you can't say is that I'm not pacified. Brother Melvin, I agree. I have no issues with helping others, but when I do, I get burnt. It's like you guys said, giving a blessing to a sinner. Yes, fear in me, I need to work on. Brother Melvin, I understand what you're saying, brother. I've been in that same boat, which is why you've heard me say many times before, I ain't expanding my house. I'm not trying to add nobody else to my house. Now, recently that's changed. And I'm like, okay, my doors will still be open. They're still open if the sister has the right spirit and the right heart. But I understand, brother, because I've been in that same boat trying to help brothers, trying to help sisters. And I tried to help a brother and his family, and the brother turned on me and went and slandered my name. Made up, well, he didn't make up a story. Let me say, he presented the story in a way that made him look like a victim. Because this brother thought that he was just going to move from North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina, onto my property. He really thought that he was just going to pick up and move from North. Never met the brother one time in my life. Never, we talked. He met me on the channel, and he was just going to pack up his stuff and his family and kind of just show up, and it was going to be basically my responsibility to take care of him. So I said, nah, you're going to have to, you can move close, but you're going to have to be off my property somewhere else. And I'm going to have to see, we got to spend some feast days together. This idea that you're just going to show up and move on to my property, I don't know. You spent too much time looking at a lot of these other groups that do it that way. I don't do it that way. I live here. This is where I live. This is where my family is. And I know because I've met people. For those of you who've been on my channel for any amount of time, y'all remember a couple years ago, I had a person pack up everything that he owned and drive from Dallas, Texas to where I worked. He drove from Dallas, Texas to where I worked, my place of work, showed up with everything that he had, walked around the hospital with a picture of me asking the nurses and the respiratory techs and the technicians, asked everybody, hey, do you know what this guy is? Do you know what this guy is? Literally. Then said that I was one of the 2 witnesses. And I was like, brother, no, I'm not. So I'm very watchful of people. Did he try to say the Almighty sent me to you? He basically did. That's basically what he was doing. Now, here's the funny thing. I saw a vehicle in the parking lot when I got to work in the parking lot. The vehicle had like bikes on the hood. The car was weighed down. It was like a Hyundai Santa Fe. I have a photographic memory. So when I see stuff, I just remember. Like I can look at a license plate and memorize it the first time I see it. Don't ask me how I do it. I don't know how I do it. I don't know why I do it. I just do it. So I noticed this it was like a Hyundai Santa Fe. It was loaded down. Well, that night, the sisters had a live stream. And he came in the live stream, you know, when I was at work and I was kind of monitoring the live stream, doing my job as a moderator on the live stream. And he put a message in the live stream. Sister Cassie remembers that. He put a message in the live stream and said, I'm here. And I was like, you're in the live stream? That's cool. He said, no, I'm outside your work. And I was like, no, he ain't. And then he said, I'm outside the medical records building. And he named the name of the medical records building. And I was like, what the what? What? Are you kidding me? This is how people act. And he thought that he was just going to drive out here and I was just going to bring him onto my property and take care of him and his family. Mother Elaine said, I remember that's right. Yes. I was just like, what? And that day I had bought another firearm. So I went to pick up my firearm and I called the police. And I told the police, hey, here's the reason why I'm calling y'all. I don't know this guy. I never met this guy. But just in case, I have to defend my family and defend my self. Because if he got that information, who knows? And he got the information because I was driving to work one day. I was driving from out of state and I was going to work from out of state. I did a teaching and I was coming back from out of state. And yes, C-Note, he brought his whole family, everybody, his wife and his children. They were all in the car, packed with everything that they owned. And I was driving back home one day from out of state and I had my GPS on. And my GPS said the highway that I was on, he knew I worked in the nursing field in a hospital. So he apparently, excuse me, he listened to the GPS and basically triangulated where I worked based on what the GPS was saying in the background. That's why y'all don't see me do videos driving anymore. I used to do a lot of videos driving. Now all my videos are at home or I might be in the car, but you don't see me driving for that reason. So after experiencing that situation, I was like, see, you got to be careful even who you help. You got to be careful who you help. Now, I mean, I'm always, strapped and I'm always armed and everything like that. But I mean, come on, who really wants to be in that sort of situation? That Brother Jay Morris, that is stalker mentality. And he eventually apologized to me later on. I didn't respond back to him because I'm just like, who does that? Who drives from out of state to a random? I mean, I didn't invite you. I didn't say, come on out. I didn't say anything, and you just show up, you ready to move on to my property. That sort of stuff right there. That's right, brother Daryl. Well, that's the point. I think you hit it, brother. Is that he lied on Yah by saying that Yah sent him? Because if Yah sent you, I think I would have known. Especially if he sent you to my property. So I'm very particular now in who I help. I'm very particular in keeping that door open because a lot of people see this faith, they see it as an opportunity to come up off somebody else's labor instead of them putting in the work themselves. Stories like that. And then, you know, like you said, Brother Daryl, when you do help people, there's not usually a level of thankfulness. There's not. When I send things out to people, out of the goodness of my, you know, I don't say the goodness out of my heart because I ain't trying to say all that. But out of the idea that I want to bless others, people don't say thank you, and I'm cool with that. Hey, you don't gotta say thank you. Now there are those that do, and then there are those that kind of feel like you owe them something. I'm just not the. I've come through so much that I'm thankful to y'all for everything He's given me, and I understand some people think in this life they're owed something because they've developed that welfare spirit, that it's somebody else's job to take care of me. That's their job. Your job is to take care of me. Shit, you a grown adult. There ain't nobody trying to take care of you. You take care of yourself. You are a grown adult. You are a man, and if you are a man and you try to take on a family, I'm not saying we can't help each other. We can help each other, but I ain't taking care of you. I have wives and children that I take care of. It's insanity. And even then, you know, with the wives, I don't, you know, they dress themselves. I don't go and oh yeah, just put this, let's pull the skirt up, let's pull the tights. I don't do all that. Yeah, see, no, that's right. That's right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Now I never did see the dude. I never did meet the dude. But I mean, I had security at the hospital. Like, there's this dude wandering around the hospital, approaching the X-ray, you know, technicians, and I mean, anybody who had a badge on, he was approaching them, asking them, "Have you seen this guy?" And it was a picture of me on one of my live streams. That brother Jay Morris. That's why I do the level of vetting that I do now, as far as people go. And then being burned because you think that you're helping a sister. You know, when she's talking to you, you're the most awesome this, and Yaz, you know, sent her. And he told his name. Yes, he told his name. I can't remember what his name is though. He had his YouTube channel name. And then the name he gave the cops was not the name that was on his ID. That was the other thing. When the cops went to him, I had a cop with me, and then they drove to where he was because he told me to meet him at a location. I was like, "You want me to meet? See, you about? I'm just trying to say, you trying to get smoked. You trying to get smoked. Meet you at some secluded location next to a large river. It was a park, but there ain't nobody there. There's hardly any people there. Meet you there so that I can see that you're okay. Nah, I ain't trying to meet you there. No, we good." So I called the police, and the police came to me and asked me. He said, what's the issue? You know, I said, well, this dude drove up from Dallas, Texas, apparently to meet me. I had no clue who this dude is. He said, how do he meet you? I said, I'm on YouTube. He said, you have a YouTube stalker. I said, yeah, I have a YouTube stalker, I guess. I said, I never had this before, though. He said, this stuff happens often for guys that are on YouTube. You're on YouTube, and you know, he said, what kind of content do you have? I said, I talk about preparedness and the Bible. He said, you said the Bible. As soon as you said you have a YouTube channel, I was figuring this guy has a Bible channel. And he said, let me guess. Actually, it was a female. She said, let me guess. The dude came out here to see you. I was like, yeah. I was like, huh. Wow. They went to talk to the dude. They went and look. He gave them a name, and then the cop that was with the dude radioed the cop that was with me and said, "Do you know a guy by the name of, I think his name was like Devin or something like that, Devin something?" I was like, "No." And they said, "Well, he first gave us a different name, but then when we got his ID, he had a Texas ID, and his name said Devin." And he said, yep, he's from Dallas, Texas, and he's up here, and he's got a car full of stuff. They said, what do you want me to do with them? Do you want to meet him and have us stand by, or do you want us to just send him on his way? I said, send his ass on his way. I don't know this fool. Madness. Brother Daryl, I didn't. What happened is the cop told me, hey, do you have what you need? I said, yeah, I got my firearm. I'm ready to go home. He said, all right, you go ahead and go home, and we're going to make sure that we stay with him and keep him here for an extra 15 minutes so that, you know, there's no chance that he follows you. I was like, thank you. No, brother, Divine, no. House of Lamar, yes. That's exactly what he was trying to do. That's exactly what he was essentially trying to do. He said that I was one of the two witnesses and he was the other one. And that basically he was supposed to move with me and I was supposed to. But the problem is, brothers, is and I'm not joking with you, since I've had this channel and been on this land for over 5 years, I have had, no joke, over 100 brothers tell me, I'm not playing with y'all, I'm not exaggerating. I've had over 100 brothers try to tell me that y'all told them, 100 brothers, 100 tell me that y'all told them that they were supposed to move to the rock with me. Over 100. And it's intensified over the last, and I've had other brothers who have other channels who I've communicated with, and they said the same thing. Everybody's reaching out to them now. I'm getting people who take advantage of the email address and send PayPal money requests. Like I'm supposed to fund their lifestyle. Brother, I don't have the ability to feed myself. Can you help me? So the first time I was like, well, as Yasharal said, that's right. The first time I said, I'm going to try the spirit. I'm just going to see. Then come to find out he was putting out email blasts to like 50 different channels, asking each channel for like $40. And he does it every single month. And he's been sending me these emails for probably a year and a half now. I'm like, come on now. Are you serious? You are sending email blasts and you've been doing it. You're trying to tell me that your situation is so bad that you've been doing this for a year and a half, sending out email blasts for people to send you money. And then people started sending me messages said, don't send this dude money. I sent him money once before and he did this, this, and this with the money. And then when I told him, because he lived in the same area that he lived in, and he said, hey, I'll buy some food and bring it to you. And the brother said, no, don't. I don't want you to buy the food. There's certain foods that I want. I'm like, wait a minute, so now the beggar's a chooser? Is he taking people's money and buying organic? Come on now. Brother, right. Out to Lamar, right. I'm grateful you are okay, brother. I know that we never met in person, but I always just try to bless you and your family. I know it's crazy out here and it's hard to know who to trust out here. Dope Law, bless you, brother. You know, I get clearances in my spirit about certain people. And it's just a situation of let the Bible says let all things be done decently and in order. Order is the key word. Decently and in order. Now, is that order? I mean, come on now, brothers. Come on now. Is that order? And it's not. But that's what we got going on right now. That's what we got going on. I got people who come to me and say, can I join your land? They didn't ask anything. They didn't, you know, hey, can we meet? Can I come to the feast days? Can we go and catch a burger together? Never that. Never that. I found out I got people praying and trying to curse me. I'm praying Psalms 109 on you, brother. For what? Because I disagree with you? Are you kidding me? You cursing people because they disagree with you? They dare challenge, which is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to study to show ourselves approved. And when we study and we see things that don't line up with the book, we're supposed to talk about it. But now people are so hypersensitive That if you say something that disagrees with them, they take that as an attack. You're attacking me now because I disagreed. And that's why men can't come together and talk. That's why one patriarch can't go to another patriarch and say, hey, let's talk about this. Because if you do, it's an attack. Everybody wants to debate now. Everybody wants to make a spectacle of a disagreement instead of just saying, as men, hey, let's just talk it out. I'll give you my number. We can talk. We don't have to disagree. I don't have to debate you on YouTube. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to fight about it. We don't have to do none of this stuff. All we got to do is have a phone call and discuss it. We ain't got to call each other out of our names. We ain't got to start throwing up what set we from. We ain't got to do none of that stuff. I'm from all that. I'm from all that banging. So I'm not trying to do all that. I would be asking about buying some land and information how to get started. That's about it. Hey, and you know what, brother, Devon Brenham, I had no problem. That's why I have the email address. People, you can send me an email, and if I'm doing a much better job of catching up and sending emails back and responding to emails. But I'm not gonna. I truly want to see y'all's people come out of her. I truly do. I truly want to see people come out of her. But I'm looking at all this shit like, why is it that the faith has turned into a what set you from? What hood you from? That's what it's coming down to. I can't talk to you, brother. Why? Because you don't fellowship with us no more. You've been marked. Wait, why am I marked, brother? Like, y'all trying to cap me? Like marked like that? No, you've been marked as a brother. We can't fellowship with you no more. Why? Because the leader said so. But why? Why can't you fellowship with me no more? Am I not keeping the commandments? Well, I don't know, brother, but we just can't fellowship. All right, that's cool. Hey, ain't no skin on my back. I got brothers. I got my brothers and sisters on YouTube. But I ain't tripping. I'm just trying to figure out why is it so you can't contact me and can't talk to me no more simply because the leader said I've been marked. Jay Weathers, that's the truth. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's why our other channel is called The Disturbers of Israel. Because, hey, if we're going to be disturbing, I'm gonna name it. Hey, we the disturbers. That's what Ahab said when Elijah came and approached him. He said, "Is that you, old disturber of Israel?" Well, shit, yeah, it's me. It's me. And I don't even care. I'm not even trying to give people heat like that. I'm just saying that it's amazing. It's amazing what this faith is turned into. It's turned to one big clique, a bunch of wannabe, hoping to be thugs and gangsters who didn't retire from the game, who now want to take that into the faith, and they want to turn Israel into a gang. Israel was a nation. And you can't teach people who refuse to renew their minds the difference between a nation and a gang. And most people don't even know where gangs even came from, to be honest. You know, I was raised as a Panther. And most people don't understand where the Crips and the Bloods even came from and why they even started fighting. They don't understand brotherly love overcomes our destruction. People don't understand community resistance or community revolution in progress. They don't understand what that even means. They don't understand hey, what up, cub? They don't understand what cub means. Because that literally meant cousin. And when a person said, what up, blood? They said blood because that person was saying, we blood. And that's how it started. Offshoots of the Black Panther Party. But hey, let's all bang on each other. That's why I don't care if you came from a camp, if you came from wherever you came from, I ain't got no problem with you. Do you serve Yah and keep his commandments? Yes or no? I don't care if you white. I don't care if you homeborn Hebrew or black. I don't care if you Hispanic. I don't care. I don't care. Do you serve y'all? Do you keep the commandments? Yes or no? Yeah. I mean, I've had these groups try to cause their own people who were cool with me. We got one in the chat right now who chatted. Try to get him to stop fellowshipping with me. Then when he said no, they blasted him out. I ain't gonna say his name, but they blasted him out. Just because he decided, hey, I want to be a patriarch. I don't want to be a servant. I'd like to have my own homestead, my own family. I like to make decisions for my own family as a man. No disrespect, no nothing. That's where we come from. Jay Weather said, the gang violence is how they flipped the script on us. When drugs was added with no money, gang shit. You are absolutely right. They brought in the cocaine, or they brought in the crack, and then they distributed it and said, basically, y'all got to fight for your territories to make some money. Y'all got to fight for the territory. And they did. Then you have the start of gang violence. And now it's so bad that the OGs who are on the streets are like, we can't even get with this no more, because now the bloods don't split up. Now you got different sets of bloods, different sets of Crips that don't like each other. Everybody's shooting at each other. You got a gun, you shooting at somebody. When it first started about family and unity, that's what it started off of, family and unity. Now people are telling me, hey, you're going to hell because you ain't with us, because you disagree with us, you're going to hell. Well, how about this? Whatever judgment you render on me is going to be rendered on you, so you better hope you're right, because I know I am. It's eat or start eating at that point, but y'all waking people up, real rap. I agree. I agree. Y'all is waking people up. And we're starting to see it's not about Andressa Belrose. I agree. You save your family first, brothers. That's where it starts. It starts with you and your family. That's your first ministry. You are the priest of your home. Raise your family up. Raise your family up. In this book, this is why we in the Disturbers of Israel, Brother Andre Baudet, we talk about these things, about family, because that's where it started. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, family. That's right, about community. That's right, Unique Taste of Soul. What up, Cub? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I mean, I did mean that because that's what you rap. But you know what I'm saying, brother. Bless you, Unique Taste of Soul. We've gotten so far now away from who and what we were, and now it's so splintered that now I simply can't talk to you and don't like you because you don't fellowship with us. He said, what up, blood? It's a shame. Which is why I tell brothers, hey, your family, save your family. Save your family. Save your family. Build your family. That was one of the greatest things that we did as a people. We built our families. We did. Man, we were strong because each man, each patriarch built his home. And then patriarchs came together and made brotherhoods. And I don't care what stuff you've gone through. I don't care if you were from you wore the opposite color. I don't care what ministry you came from. I have brothers that come and repent to me and be like, hey, brother, the ministry, the camp, the group said that, you know, we can't speak to you no more. And without ever finding out what happened, without ever hearing both sides of the story, I agreed and stopped talking to you. My apologies, brother. I apologize. Do you forgive me? I'm like, yeah, I forgive you. Hey, I was there. However you judge, you shall be judged. I judged that same way. I judged people because the group said, hey, you can't talk to him. I said, all right, I can't talk to that dude now. No more. I said that. And I thought I was so righteous when I was doing it. But then when I was when I was the person that was in that position that person was, I got to see how that person felt. And I had to understand, oh, damn, I'm being judged exactly how I judge. I falsely judged that brother because they said that he was bad. And I never got to hear his side of the story. And guess what happened to me? The same thing. The same thing. This thing is getting real. And what you have right now is a lot of distractions. In the media, they're distracting you. In the churches, they're distracting you. On the radio, they're distracting you. Everybody's vying to distract you. Because if you are looking at this, you don't know what this hand that's going off screen and taking that money out your pocket. Hey, look, that money just see. And then when I come back out, I got your wallet. You don't even know. Let's go to the book. Matthew 24. Look at verse 4. We'll start at verse 4. Matthew 24:4. And Yeshua answering said unto them, take heed that no one leads you astray. So what Yeshua is saying is that you take heed. Not your leadership takes heed. You, brothers, better take heed. You, brothers, better take heed that no one leads you astray. How do you know somebody's leading you astray? We were reading the Apocrypha. I don't have my Apocrypha in here. We were reading be not hasty to credit a friend. Listen to what he's saying first before you give him credit. Test them, prove them, try them. That's how you know. Take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, or I am of Messiah. I am a brother like you. I am a leader. I am a pastor. I am an elder. I am a teacher. I am a deacon. That's what they're going to come to you saying. I am of Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. The Bible says that there's going to come a time when didn't we do many mighty works in your name? Didn't we do all these great things in your name, Father? Yeshua, didn't we heal the sick? Didn't we do it in your name? And he's going to say, depart from me, ye workers of lawlessness. Not workers of opinion, workers of lawlessness. Which law? The Torah. Depart from me, ye workers, ye breakers of my law. I never knew you. Which means these people can still do mighty works because the power's in the name of Yeshua. The power's not in their hands. The power's in the name of Yeshua. The power's in his name, not in their, whoa, look at me. You needed me to do it. No, the power's in the name. See, but they'll take it upon themselves and say, well, I healed people. I've done this. You'd be surprised what you can do in the name of Yeshua. I'm just saying, I've done many interesting acts. Me, I did it. No, it wasn't me. It was Yeshua. It was the power of the name of Yeshua. You remember there was a story where they went to Yeshua and said, hey, those people over there are healing. Should we stop them? Yeshua said, nah, let them go. But you go to the internet today and you'll find people that run around saying, we do this. We have the power here. Nah, you have the power where you are. That's right, Sister Elaine. Everybody wants to have a title, but very few want to be a servant. So you got to watch out for these deceptions. These deceptions are coming down and piling down from all sides. All sides deceptions are coming. So when they tell you in 2020, yeah, well, the shelves, they're going to be filled back up in a couple of months. You don't worry. We got you. And I'm getting videos from all over this country of people saying, there ain't no food. There ain't no food. I don't see food in these shelves. We ain't got no pasta. We ain't got no top ramen. We don't have the water, the frozen goods, the frozen potatoes, the frozen pizzas, the hot pockets, the meat, the pork, the beef, and the chicken, the fish, the lunch meats, and here. No, it's not. Because in 2020, when they told you that everything was going to be good, they knew it wasn't going to be good. But they told you it was going to be good. Why? To pacify you. Because if you think it's going to be good, are you going to go to the grocery store and make sure that you have food for your family for the next 2 weeks, for the next 2 months, for the next 2 years? No, you're not. So they're mitigating. They want to make sure that there isn't a stampede into the grocery stores and cleans the shelves out. They're trying to make sure of that. So they're pacifying the people. And the problem is that I'm fine with them pacifying the world. But why are we being pacified? Brother Melvin Gray, Sister Andressa said, that's so sad. It is. Mother Elaine Block said, flour is hard to find. It is. You want to know why all the flour is going? Look at China. They're buying up over 50% of the world's flour. It's going to China. 50% of the world's wheat is going to China, which means all the things that are using wheat, breads, flour, tortillas, cereals, malto meal, grits, it's all going up in price. That's right. That is right. She said, the same government, brother, the same government says they want to save you is the same that say the world needs less people. Well, she's saying something there. We have too many people in the world right now, but we're coming to save you. Really? Oh, gosh. Brother Melvin Gray said, shelves were empty yesterday, going to drive 2 hours to my old house area to stop. That's another thing that I was reading. People are now leaving their local grocery stores where they can't find food, and they're going to other stores hours away and buying up that food. See, this cascading event is getting bigger, but see, they're still trying to pacify you. Don't worry about it. We got you. But Daryl Vick said, and yet the media tries to say the economy is on the rise again. Not right. They're telling you we haven't had such a great economy in the last 5 years. You haven't? Wait, whose economy is growing? Is it your everyday person's economy growing, or is it the CEOs of Walmart, Kroger's, and Walmart and Sam's Club, which is the Waltons, Stater Brothers, and Trader Joe's, and all these grocery store? I guarantee you their pockets are being fattened. Oh, Yasharala, I have a video coming out on that. This metaverse, brother. Woo! The metaverse is. Do you all know that this metaverse that Zuckerberg is producing? That's why Facebook is now called Meta. Do y'all know that they're creating a metaverse, which is a alternate? I call it alternate reality. It's like playing The Sims, but almost like real life. You create your own avatar and you live in the metaverse, which is computers. This world that is created online, and they want you to plug in. There are people buying property in the metaverse. Property basically in a video game to the tune of over $100,000. And they're selling the property as NFTs. They're selling virtual shit to people. And they want you to plug into this. This is why you see, you notice, how many of y'all remember Facebook? Like maybe a year or 2, 3 ago, where they started having you create your own avatar. That's right, Ready Player One, Sister Tribal, that's it. There are so many movies that are about The Matrix, Ready Player One, all these video movies where the world's destroyed, but you plug into some electronic device, you sit in some chair and put on some goggles and you live through your avatar. Why do you think Facebook had avatars come out years ago? Take the picture of yourself and you can create the avatar of yourself. Why do you think all these games came out? The Sims, where you make you and you live this life. And that's years ago. You live this life as if the life is you. And now they're creating the metaverse. There are people buying Dolce and what is it again? Dolce and what? Ebony. What's it called? It's called Dolce and Gabbana. Dolce, you can buy Dolce and Gabbana purses in the metaverse, $500, $600, $700, $800. That people are spending real money to fund their virtual life, to dress their virtual character. It's almost like it's perfect. As the food is leaving the shelves, hey, don't worry about that. Plug in over here. Live this reality right here. Live this reality over here. While the real world is falling apart around you, hey, you live in this reality that we created for you, where you can live your best life. Your best life. That shit is so demonic. They're talking about having virtual sex, and you could have a virtual family in the metaverse. You could marry somebody else, and the two of you are husband and wife. And I was just Kai Jin. There it is. There's a confirmation right there. I was just saying that, Kai Jin. A couple actually got married in the metaverse. Got married in the metaverse, and their marriage is online. And people are more in tune with that than they are with real life. They wake up in the morning. How many people wake up in the morning just to jump online and check their Facebook? The first thing they do before they go to the bathroom, or while they're in the bathroom, they're on the toilet, they gotta see what's on Facebook. They gotta see how many likes they got. They gotta see how many thumbs ups I got. If I didn't get enough thumbs up, then my life don't mean nothing. You know, my life is shit if I didn't get 50. I can't tell you. Oh, brother Arbel Sr., yes, it is that serious. It is that serious, brother. It is crazy. There are millions, and there are big companies who are investing in the metaverse because they know how much money there is to be made. Again, a $500 Dolce & Gabbana purse in the metaverse, people buy it for their avatar character, $500. That's right, Sister Tribal Lady. The ironic part is the rich will still look rich in the metaverse. They will be able to afford the expensive luxuries. I was blown when I saw that a piece of property in the metaverse, in a freaking video game, sold for over $100,000. Real $100,000, real cash, over $100,000 to buy a piece of property in the metaverse. The problem is people are falling for it. Because who wants to go to the grocery store? Who wants to deal with the fact that you may not be able to put food on the table? Who wants to deal with the fact that they may be getting, evicted? Look at what Lord JMO said. You can finance cars and houses. The debt is going to be crazy because it's unlimited. There's another right there. Another eyewitness. You can actually finance your metaverse life. They have detached people so much from reality. So much from reality, from what is really taking place. So now you have it in your social media forums, you have it in religion, you have it in the news. Everything is detaching you from reality. Hey, you can live in sin and pray to God, and God's going to bless you, even though you actively live in sin. Even though everything in the book says he doesn't bless you in your sin. He doesn't even hear your prayer when you're in sin. People are realizing life, real life, they don't want to live it no more. Buy land and be self-sufficient. Now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. That's exactly it, brother. Now's the time that if you have delayed and you have procrastinated in making real tangible moves, now's the time to do it. Now is the time to do it if you were ever going to do it. If you were ever going to make a real move in your life, now's the time to do it. Because if you don't, I mean, damn. How many people, what was that? What's that video game, that online video game that people play all the time where you run around, you shoot people, and there's like characters in it, and it's not Call of Duty. It's it looks like a cartoon game kind of. But it's all over gosh, what's it called? Fort, what's it called? Somebody knows it. It's Fort something. Why can't I think of this game? Please somebody put it in the chat. You know what I'm talking about. Fortnite. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Fortnite. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. Fortnite. There are people having concerts in Fortnite. Who was it? Who was that guy that they just had that trampling incident? The rapper? He had a concert recently, and then there was a big trampling event. People died. He had a concert in the middle of a Fortnite game. In the middle of a game, his avatar showed up in the game, and he started rapping to the Fortnite players. I think they said Justin Bieber had a concert in the metaverse where you could, buy a ticket to the concert, and your avatar would go to the stage, and all these other people that bought tickets were, I don't know how to explain this. Their avatars were dancing, and you could make your avatar do break dances, and they dress their avatar up in expensive clothing that they bought in the metaverse store. And this is the reality. Oh, C-Note said, my little sister watched a Fortnite concert. There it is. They are detaching people from reality so much that now we see marriage as, well, I could just have my avatar marry their avatar. The metaverse was the reason for the rush that Lord JMO, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There are so many people put the 5G, it's here, it's part of the plague. The plague, plague I'm talking about. It's a cover story the plague's a cover story for pushing out 5G. No, it wasn't. They're advertising 5G everywhere, and people can't wait to get on it. I believe 5G was rushed out exactly for what Lord JMO said, the metaverse. You need some speeds, some high speed internet for you to be part of the metaverse. I encourage y'all. Look at, there's a guy, I can't remember his name. He's on YouTube. Truth Unedited. Truth Unedited. That's one of the few people biblically that I'm subscribed to. Truth Unedited. Look up his video on the metaverse. Truth Unedited. Look up his video on the metaverse. He does such a great job of way better than I just did right now. If you want to know what the metaverse is about, Truth Unedited Metaverse. He destroys it. He does a very good job of explaining how they're warping people's minds and bringing them into this alternate reality. And that's because people don't want to deal with reality. No, go mommy. Go mommy. They don't want to deal with the reality. You need to taste the soul set. That is sickening and straight wicked, brother. It so is. And you know what? I'm just going to say, isn't it kind of a coincidence that we have this social distancing at this time right now? Because see, the metaverse is a social distance. It's Hey, we can't be near each other, so let's eliminate the human interaction with people. Let's eliminate the actual skin contact, the ability for brothers to hug each other, the ability for us to stand next to each other if we need to stand next to each other for any, prayer, deliverance, or physical altercation. We can stand next to each other back to back, side by side, and handle it. We don't even want to deal with each other no more. Everything now is about the internet. Think about it. Most fellowships now are internet based. They're like this. We look at a person on the screen, and that's it. And hey, social distance yourself from them. You need to be 6 feet away from that person over there. 6 feet. You need some space between you and that person. You know what? Don't worry about it. We have the metaverse now. Sister Andressa, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Think about it. Don't be near. Don't be close to. No, what? Just go to the metaverse. Don't worry about it. And now the sad reality and sad fact is, if the internet went off today, most of us would be alone. If an EMP went off, most of us would just be alone by ourselves. Nobody to fellowship with, nobody to talk to, nobody to have an actual human interaction with, except for those that don't believe like us. I'm 24 going 25, and my father introduced my little brother and I to video games so that he would not be bothered by us. It took a toll that I guess no one expected. I still have a game addiction. Brother and sister C-Note, I absolutely understand. I absolutely understand. In regards to, now I was never a video game addict, but I do understand that there are a lot of people that have that addiction. C-Note, I don't want you to put all your information up on the internet, but if you ever would like to talk about it, because I have some experience in dealing with that, send me an email. Just make sure you put your name in the subject line and send me an email. We can, I can give you a call. We can talk about that, because I think that y'all's a deliverer. Y'all's a deliverer. And I've overcome a lot of addictions. A lot of addictions. It was painful, but you can do it too. You can do it too, brother. There is deliverance. Hallelujah. Oh gosh. Are these the Russian bots? They're out to play. Hallelujah. But right now we got to have our minds straight. There's so many, as a game designer, it's all about playing on people's addictions. Brother Melvin Gray said it. And Facebook is actually an addiction. Look at some of the stuff. I'm a big person. I like to read studies. Look at some of the studies that they conducted on people that had social media addictions, YouTube addictions, Facebook addictions. There's literally people that have addictions to likes and thumbs ups. And you're seeing it all over YouTube right now. That's one of the reasons why you never hear me say like, share, and subscribe. Because that's become somebody, one person I was listening to talking about it, and he was actually a designer of some of these more addictive things. He said that one of the main points of the like button or the thumbs up button was an addiction, because people get addicted to the like. They get addicted to the thumbs up. You'll see people post a picture on Facebook, not get enough likes or thumbs ups, and they'll take the picture down because they didn't get 75 likes in the first hour. And then they'll go back and post another picture of himself more provocative to get more likes. That's what it's all about. It's not about who I actually am. It's, what do you think about me? That's why these churches have power over people, because what does the leader think about me? What do the elders think about me? Shit, what does y'all think about me? Let's just be real. Half the people that we worry about, what do they think about us? Tell them you don't believe the same way they do. And watch that, hey brother, get revoked. Why are you worried about what they think about you? Worry about what Yah thinks about you. Worry about Yah's order. Wives, worry about what your husband thinks about you. Children, worry about what your parents think about you. Stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. I'm 53 and have friends my age that are addicted to gaming. There's gaming leagues now, you know, professional Madden leagues that where these guys, these video gamers make more money. Video gamers make more money than doctors. Entertainment has become the new it's the big distraction. That's why they get paid so damn much. They're being paid to distract you. How does a guy who wins a Madden Bowl, how does he make more money than an engineer? A guy who knows how to hit buttons at the right sequence at the right time, he makes more money than a guy who builds that bridge that you drive across every single day. Sister Callie said, I have a nephew that does it for a living. You should look up, there's a guy named Typical Gamer on YouTube. This dude makes millions a year playing video games. Video games. Dumbing down the masses, distracting the masses. How much do you think that these sports announcers and sportscasters get? Millions. There are college coaches, 10 years, $115 million contracts. Guys running up and down the basketball court making millions to entertain you and me, to distract us. That's what it's all about, distraction. Because you know, you can't watch a football game without the football game. I mean, 4 hours? How many people got 4 hours to watch watching a football game? 4 hours. Distractions. They kick off. The ball goes on the back of the end zone. Commercial break. They come back, 3 and out. You have to watch 45 seconds or a minute and a half of football. They punt, commercial. The next team throws the pass, get caught, gets 5 yards. Offensive lineman got hurt, commercial. They come back, do 2 more plays, they punt, commercial. Other team gets the ball, commercial. Just commercials. You watch more commercials than you do the football game, but you paid for it. You bought NFL Sunday ticket. You bought was it the NBA league pass. You dropped $250 to get 40-yard line football tickets, and then paid $72 to get a hot dog and $165 million to get a jersey, so that you can go home and say, we had a good time. And then when I come by and say, hey, brother, where's your land? Oh, I'm working on that, brother. Where's the inheritance for your children? Oh, I'm working on that, brother. Where's your protection? Oh, I'm working on that, brother. Where's your food storage? Oh, I'm working on that, brother. But you had money to go to the football game. Not me, brother. I'm not watching grown-ass men chasing after a ball. Tuba, I'm going to have to agree with you. And I had a brother that played in the NFL. Played in the NFL, went to Northwestern University, played with Darnell Autry and Dwayne Bates. And the year that Northwestern went to the Rose Bowl and got blown out by Keyshawn Johnson and the USC Trojans, he played in that team. He played with the Northwestern coach, Pat Fitzgerald. Crazy. So I understand that. I played college basketball, tore my body up chasing an orange ball. Chasing it, trying to put it through a metal hoop. Tore my body up doing it. Tore meniscus. World of Warcraft has international tournaments. See, that's crazy. Distractions. How many of those people know how to plant a garden? How many of those people are going to be desperate when the shit really do go down? How many of those people can feed their families and are going to be able to feed their families? How many? How many have a skill outside of hitting buttons on a keyboard? or on a mouse or on a controller? How many have a skill? Or how many of us have a skill? Lord Jamo, the new NFL and NBA will be gamers. The $1 million contracts to athletes will be done in the future. I believe the same thing. That they're going to start phasing these real sports out, and it's going to start being it's going to be a metaverse contest. Maybe I'll watch that UFC tonight though. Not paying for it. F that. I feel you, brother. I feel you. This is the world we live in. $70. How many people pay $80, $90, $70 to watch WWE wrestlers? How many people pay to watch what Stone Cold Steve Austin? You're watching choreographed athletics, which is basically what the NFL's become and the NBA's become, choreographed athletics. Whoever the refs want to win, that's who wins. You pay for that. Meanwhile, you're being distracted. You're being completely distracted from what's actually going on. You sit there on a couch like this. And then my favorite, when you talk to sports fans, they say, man, we won. We won. I'm like, you did? It seems to me like you lost. What do you mean, brother? Well, you paid to watch them play. So when they score a touchdown, you didn't score a touchdown. How are you part of the we? You didn't win anything, in fact. You go back to your sorry-ass life after the game's over. They're the ones who made the millions. What did you win? Well, you know what I mean. You know, my team won. You don't own them. Do you have stake in ownership? How's it your team? You're cheering for a bunch of random dudes. That's really what it is. Sister Cassie, I used to be that person too. I used to be so bad. You know, I'm from San Diego, so you know, I was a big time Charger fan. Big time. I mean, I watched the Chargers when they went into Miami and beat Miami. And then, I mean, Stan Humphries hit Mark Say for that touchdown. Woo! Natron Means was running like a beast. Then we went into Pittsburgh with who did they have? Neil O'Donnell they had. Jerome Bettis. Jerome Bettis. And on that fourth down play, after the Chargers, who were underdogs, the ball was at the 1.5 yard line. He tried to hit, was it Bettis? And Dennis Gibson knocked the ball away and sent the Chargers to the first Super Bowl where they got blown out by Steve Young and the San Francisco 49ers. When the Chargers win, I would be like, man, my day was great. When the Chargers lost, I would literally be depressed. Literally. When Tanisha met me, when the Charger game was on, she knew, don't talk to him because I'm yelling. I still have Charger towels in this house right now. I mean, I was that sort of person. Mr. Arbell, I've seen that game. It was a 94 AFC Championship game. Man, just to realize at the end, all I did was spend my money. Stan Humphries never came to me and said, hey, Chris, hey, you won. Natron Means never, Junior Seau never came to me and said, good job, man. You won with us. When they had the parade that went through to celebrate their win in the AFC Championship game, I remember being at the airport. I went to the airport to welcome the team home with my family. They didn't say, Chris! They didn't say that. They came off the plane. Everybody was yelling. They got in the team bus and drove off. And we were like, man, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. And my family couldn't even afford for me to go to the Super Bowl. Yes. That is a country living grinder. Right now they're about $600. When I bought mine, it was like $550. $490. If you want a grinder that is a beast, I mean, we grind our rice and we make rice flour. They make oat flour. They make corn flour. They make flour, wheat flour. They make all sorts of flour with this thing. If you want a great grinder, that's it. That is it. It's just to distract. It's just right, Mr. Arbell, you get the game ball. They never came to me and said that. No, I made some money selling basketball cards. I still got basketball cards. I got some rare basketball cards that I'm just waiting for the right time to unload them all. I got Jordan cards that y'all would be like, what the? Now I don't keep them here, but I got them. So this is what we got going on. Distractions, brothers. Let's continue in the book. So we were at verse 4. I want to bring this to a close in another 30 minutes. I got a grain. Oh, how good are they? Any extra wheels for them just in case? You have to buy them separately, brother, and they're pretty pricey. I did buy an extra one. Yeah, Tuba, you're right. You're right. It is time. It is time. Especially while the getting is good. I was hoping that there was going to be another blip, another rise, and then I was going to unload that next rise. But now the NFTs are coming out, and people are buying those like crazy. And to be honest, the only people who are really buying right now are collectors. That's the only people who are really buying right now. So verse 5. Oh, sorry, verse 6. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. Go down to verse 10. Look at verse 10. And then many shall stumble, and they shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another. That's where we are right now. People hate each other. There are people in the faith who hate their brother, or that is telling you ain't my brother, you ain't my brother, you ain't with us, you ain't my brother. So only your camp and your church and your ministry, that's all Israel right there. That's it. Just them and anybody else who likes you. That's Israel. That's it. Interesting. Doesn't line with the Bible at all, but interesting. Interesting. Oh crap, 1250 good. Woo! But you know what? That's wise money. I mean, people got their stimulus checks. I was talking with a brother, and he was telling me, "Hey, brother, I got a Berkey." Wait a minute, brother, you took your stimulus check and got a Berkey? You mean you didn't go and get the PS12? And he bought some parts for his rifle and got a Berkey. I was like, this brother got a Berkey. Damn. How much more valuable is that Berkey right now? Being able to procure good, clean, and filter water and have good, clean water. How important is that right now, brothers and sisters? Good, clean water. Yeah, you can. Always. Yes. Look at verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And because of the increase of lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. Brothers and sisters, don't let your love for one another become cold because you're watching lawlessness. I've struggled with that recently. You see so much bullshit going on out there in these groups and these camps and these churches and these ministries. You see all this bullshit going on. You're like, you know what, F them all. But I had to always maintain that, I had to always bring myself back, like, can't be that way. I can't be that way because there are people leaving these groups and camps and churches and ministries, and they're looking for a place to go. And they realize you need to go to Yah. Go to Yah. but they need to hear it. There are people that don't want to belong to a titled ministry, but they want fellowship. They'd like to be able to come, spend a feast day, but not feel like they owe me something. Berkey prices are going up 10 to 30% in February 21st. Get what you need now. If you need, you heard it. I just saw a video on that. If you are looking to get a Berkey, now if you don't have a Berkey, I have a bucket Berkey. I built a bucket Berkey. Well, it's not really a Berkey. A bucket filtration system using Berkey filters. And it works just the same way. So you can still build them, but if you don't have filters, you better get them. You better. I have some Dalton filters, and I was on my Amazon, and they just went up $95. The same filters that I had bought before. Now I have, tons of filters put away, but I want to know, it's always good to top off, get a couple extra on top of the ones that you already have. And they went up $95. I was like, well, I ain't getting those no more. There it is. Tuba said, yep, I have a Berkey and bought all the parts to build a bucket one also. That's what I did. I have two. I have the bucket Berkey, the bucket filtration system that I have using 5-gallon buckets, and then I have the metal Berkey. But they're $150 per filter for the black ones. They're $150 per black filter. Is that what you're saying, Tuba? Oh my gosh. $150. Oh, for two. That, gosh. Y'all better get what you need now. Gosh. Let me just say this. Gosh. I'm gonna say this again. Whatever moves you're going to make in your life, y'all gotta stop playing around. Y'all gotta stop playing around. You need to make those moves right now. I used to get 2 for $110, $150, and then they're gonna go up higher. I'm about to go order mine after Shabbat. Hey, thank you, Tuba, for giving us that information. Gosh. I've been watching primitive videos on how to filter water with rocks and whatnot, and how to build homes out of mud. That's a good skill to have. I mean, lumber prices are going out the roof right now. Also, lumber is going way. I mean, I'm buying rough cut lumber now for the things that I'm building. There's a mill out here. They make railroad ties, and they sell the cuttings off of the railroad ties. And I'm buying that stuff right now. I mean, I'm building with what I got. It is what it is. But I was going to say, you see what these brothers are saying right here. If you are going to make some moves, you better start making them right now. And I'm just being real. If you're a brother, you're looking to get out, get out. What I would do is I would get out right now. I would do whatever I have to do. Yes, you need to test the soul. Yes, I can. I can give you some information on that. You can still find the batteries that I use for reasonably cheap. I mean, they've gone up quite a bit also. But I can. I'll probably do a little video showing what I have as far as my system goes, my charge controllers and inverter and wires that I use and panels that I have. But yeah, I generate all the power from solar for my household. It all comes from my solar panels. That's it. And I still have panels that I haven't even put up yet. I've got 12 acres of hardwood forest. That hardwood, woo, that'll keep you warm. We gotta, if you're a brother and you're looking to make some moves, you better start making them. I'm just being real. No, you're a die. Also, you're a Philly fan. You were a Philly fan. The Eagles and the Sixers. See, I like those. I used to be a Sixers. Well, not Sixers fan. I was an Allen Iverson fan until they played the Lakers in the NBA Finals, and he stepped over Tyronn Lue after hitting that basically game clinching jumper in the corner. I hated Allen Iverson from then. He's still a great player. I mean, athletes are still athletes. It's still amazing. I just don't get caught up in all that now. Would love to see your solar setup. Hallelujah. I'll show some of it. I don't want to show all of it because there's so many ways you can do solar. And for those that don't know, when I do things on my channel, I do things that work for me and my household and my finances. And I just don't want to hear the people, well, I would do this, brother, and I would do this, brother, and I would do this, brother. That's cool. You should do it then. I've been running solar here on my property for 4 years now. My system is 4 years old, and we have ample energy. And I'm extremely happy. They're able to run their blenders and their soap making stuff and their the vacuum cleaner. They're able to run the stuff that they need. It runs the lights. I mean, I wired the whole house up myself. I've done all the wiring. I've done everything that you see. I learned it, and then I did it. We have water that pumps into the house. So, when we first came out here, we were carrying buckets of water. Now, the rain catchment catches it. It's filtered and pumped into the house. On-demand pumps. Oh, two, I can help you with that. I can kind of show you what like the charge controllers that I have, because see, for me, I have actually 24 volt panels, but my charge controllers step it down to 12 volt. So they do it by themselves. They know that the technology built in will step down the 24 volt power coming in to 12 volts. And then that's what goes. So my system is actually a 12 volt system, but I have 24 volt panels. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, can y'all quiet it down in there, please? Get them. I need the batteries and the inverter. I can help you out with that, brother. The inverter, I have a Cobra inverter. Now, I think it has 7,500 watts, I think. But it's just a Cobra inverter. And now I'm a believer in redundancy. So I bought an extra inverter. I have 2 charge controllers that I'm running right now. But I bought an extra one. I have extra wires because I'm one of those people that believes if shit does go down and you're not able to get the stuff that you need and your inverter goes out, what are you going to do? So I believe having another inverter is perfect. Now, it's not 7,000 watts. I think it's like 3,500, my backup one, but it's enough to run the stuff that I want. We have 3 deep freezers here. I use 1 deep freezer for a refrigerator. And then I have 2 that we store all of our home processed meats. And then another freezer that we store our home processed greens, the greens that we freeze. And we run all that on our solar. So you can do a lot with solar once you learn how to do it and you know the tolerances and you know what. And the reason why I have deep freezers as a refrigerator is, for those that don't know, is if you have those refrigerators that open out like that, the doors, as soon as you open up that door, all of your cool tumbles out. You remember, heat rises, cold goes down. So when you open up those doors, all your cold tumbles out of your freezer. I mean, out of your refrigerator, and when you have the doors. But if you have a chest freezer, and that's what I have, the cold stays down. So when you open up your freezer, the cold is still staying in the freezer, so you don't lose everything. So the compressor on your freezers are not constantly kicking on to try and re-cool the freezer or the refrigerator. That's why I use chest freezers for everything, and not the go. See what I'm saying, y'all? Why are they in here and nobody else is in here? Sorry about that. So that's why I bought 3 books on solar to simplify it. I'm an HVAC contractor, so not starting from zero. Okay, but still need some. You need it. I got you, brother. I'll help you out. I will help you out. And once you get it, it's not complicated. And you'll learn more, and you'll add more to your system. Like, dang, what's a good wood stove, man? I'm gonna be real. Well, unique case of soul. I have those regular wood stoves that you get from like Home Depot that cost like $600. That's all I got. Now I have 2 of them, but the one of them is supposed to heat 800 square feet. I got 2. So, and it heats the house to the point where I'm sweating right now, and it's like 16 degrees outside. But I would say something that's equally as important, I know we're kind of getting off topic, but something that's equally as important as your stove is your insulation. Insulating your house is so important. And that's one area where people tend to skimp on, is the insulation part, so that you end up, and knowing how to run your stove also, knowing how to use the flue, when to close it, when to open it up. Because you can burn through a lot of wood in a winter because you were using your stove improperly. Blaze Kings are worth, Tribal Lady, thank you. Actually, what I plan on doing is I plan on actually building a cob stove. We use our stove right now to cook on occasionally, but I'm actually going to build a cob stove oven in our house. Kind of like y'all saw, those who saw the oven outside, that we use regularly to like make pizzas and bake chicken. We use our cob stove outside. We're building one actually inside. It's just that you have to put some extra bracing underneath your floors because cob is heavy. My beloved brother David put me up on game on this one. Cob is heavy. And when you build it, I'm going to make a oven surface and a cooking surface, and it's going to be big enough to heat everything. So I've been working on dimensions for that. I've been designing it myself. The burn chamber and then the oven chamber, and what size steel do I want for a cook surface? Do I want individual burners, or do I want just one flat plate? I've been, do I want a glass front so that I can see the fire? Or do I want just I've been bouncing ideas back and forth. I got plenty of time before I get to that point. But when I started House of Maccabee, y'all will be here. I'm gonna use the same stovepipe that I have right now. And pricing it, you can get it built and done right for under $300 or $400 and have a nice, energy efficient cook stove that you build. I have looked at Tribal A. I have looked at rocket mass heaters. I don't know if I have the space to, to give it the sort of chamber and the run it needs for I don't know if I have enough space for that, but I have thought about it. Whoa. The tuba saying, get it now. Whatever decisions you're going to make right now, you need to do it. I talk to sisters all the time. Brother, I would love to join a man's house. I just thought you better start really considering it right now. Right now. Not waiting until, let me figure this out. You need to start putting off your personal plans and start making moves right now. All these ideas that you have, you better start making the moves right now. If you want a strong man, you better make those moves right now. If you're looking for land, you need to start really, really, really cutting the corners and saving and doing all the things you need to do right now. If you have a vehicle, if your vehicle has that check engine light on, you may want to go and get that diagnosed. Go get yourself an OBD scanner and scan your vehicle right now. I do 85% of my vehicle work. I did not go to school to do it, but I just learned how to do it. If you don't know how to do the vehicle work, you may want to put aside some finances to get your vehicle worked on right now. I just got my shocks replaced, and then because I don't know how to do the bleed brake line yet, I'm learning how to do it. But right now I'm learning how to do a head gasket. I'm working on replacing a head gasket. But so my master cylinder, when I on my it's going out on my SUV, I'm getting that replaced. If you got vehicle issues, do it right now. Handle it right now. Do whatever you gotta do right now. Not waiting. You trying to tell me that I should move in haste? Well, hey, the Bible says there's a time for everything under the sun. There's a time to move in some haste. You know, we always hear people say, stop being so hasty. There are times that you need to start moving in some haste. When the angel was bringing Lot and his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah, they weren't, you know, walking out like a gangster lean, like, yeah, we mobbing. Nope. He grabbed their hand and they tore off. When Yah tells you to go, it's time to go. And the problem is that Yah has spoken to many, many, many of us. We're just too damn lazy and apathetic. We're too damn docile. We're too damn passive. That when we hear the call to go, we say, well, I'm not ready yet. I have my own plans. Well, I don't think that anybody's plans figured in food shortages, economic instability, gas prices rising, truckers saying, well, shit, we ain't driving then. Nobody expected to have the zombie plague hit. Nobody expected for things to happen so damn fast. And yet, when things happen, they're moving in haste while you're still dragging your feet. Things are happening in haste, and you're still dragging your feet. Bro, Chris, can you call me to give me the setup for the solar? Yes, sir, brother. Yeah, I still do have your number. I'm gonna call you on the brother on the solar and the seeds. In fact, I'll probably do a video call with you, bro, so I can just show you. It's a lot easier for me. Y'all better get. I mean, you don't have to. Let me just say, you don't have to. You don't have to. But then when it comes down, you ain't got nobody else to blame. When it comes down, you're not going to have a single other person to blame but yourself. If you're a brother, you're going to have nobody else to blame. And now, at that time, your situation is going to present itself as in a, well, do I just become a servant to a man? Well, at that point in time, a lot of people are kind of honing in. The brothers that I'm talking to right now, and from all over this country, they're honing in right now. They're starting to focus inwardly. That's what they're starting to focus their mind and their attention and their finances inwardly. You want to make sure that you in before it's closed. Let me see. I saw a milk cow comment. Anthony Jensen said, bless you, brother Anthony. He said, we were looking into getting a milk cow. Found one after a couple months of looking. When we went to pick her up, they gave us 4 calves with her. That's a blessing, brother. Woo, brother, that's a blessing. Hallelujah. Man, brother. Man, they'd be a blessing to you and your household, brothers. Man. Hallelujah. That's another thing right now. Oh, read Ecclesiastes 11:9. Let's go there. Rejoice, Ecclesiastes. Yes. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things Yah will bring thee into judgment. What were you referring to, Brother Daryl, that you wanted me to specifically focus on? Thank you, bro. I'm a truck driver. Drivers are shutting down and quitting. It's happening. That's happening. Trains are being jacked. UPS drivers are being jacked. Everybody's getting jacked. That's happening. So I'm just propositioning this to you. If it's getting short, you have to get past all these distractions that you see in this world right now. You got to get past all these things that you're seeing happen. You better get past them all. You better focus in and on you and your situation, whether you're a brother, or whether you're a sister. Because I'm telling you, either way, you're a brother. You really don't want to have to go through these things in these cities. I'm just being real. And as a sister, you ain't trying to go through these things single, uncovered. That's right, C-Note. That's right. They following people home for their food, nothing else. They food. They're following people home for their food. Hey, I ain't got no food. I'm gonna follow homeboy over there home. I saw his shopping cart. I watched him bring out his shopping cart full of food. I'm gonna run up in his house and jack his shit. Lord Jamo said, "You really are a visionary. I went to your old videos and you were talking about all this stuff before the pandemic. You called a lot of this stuff. Your wives and kids should be grateful to have you. Bless you, Lord Jamo. I am honored. I am extremely honored, and I'm humbled. I'm extremely humbled by the words that you're saying. I'm gonna say this very carefully. I take the responsibility of a watchman seriously. I'm not here to run anybody's life. I'm just here to let y'all know what I see. What many are seeing, not just me. Many are seeing it. Many are seeing it, and many have been saying it well before I said it. You know, before I said, "Come out of her, my people," Pastor Fox had been saying it for years. In fact, I got it from Pastor Fox. I got the saying, "Come out of her, my people," from Pastor Fox. That's why it was an honor. The first person that I met when I came out here was Pastor Fox. Brother Fletch, Shofar Mountain. So it didn't come from me. But when y'all put it in my heart, in my spirit, to start speaking on these things, it was clear as day. It was clear as day that something was coming. The snowball was going downhill, and it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And to be real, one of the things that I didn't see on YouTube is I didn't see a whole lot of men of color talking about these things. I did not see a lot of men of color in the faith talking about these things. I had noticed that you know, there's Pastor Fox, and then there was, you know, I remember when it was Bear Independent, and there was the other guy that was with him, Bear and Squid. I remember watching some of their videos. So I remember seeing all these things take place around the world, or seeing all these men that didn't look like me talking about it, but there weren't many men that looked like me talking about this sort of stuff. I remember when you were on PJS page. Oh yes, the video. In fact, if you look at on this channel, Pastor Fox actually did a live stream with me on this channel. He came and visited here, did a live stream here on this channel. And it was an honor to have him. There you go. So, you know, seeing that there weren't many men of color talking about this stuff, and for some reason, people of color want to see a person of color say these things. That's not DemCAD. What you think of Dow? For those, you know, many people know I I praise Yah. I praise Yah. I did learn from Pastor Dow. I also used to be part of Straightway, and I have never seen more growth in myself. And this is just my personal testimony. I'm not speaking anything ill of them. I did not see such personal growth in myself since I left. There you go. But I do thank him and well, it was really him. For the teachings that he did on these topics. I do. I thank him greatly for the teachings on his topics, and I am thankful that I'm not part of it anymore. That too, but too. Thank you, too. I was trying my best to be. But and here's the thing. I'm just gonna be real. A lot of the communications that I got were men were saying, well, it's easy to do it when you have a bunch of other people there with you. But we don't see people of color who have done it by themselves. That's what they said to me. I don't know how, I mean, I know Straightway's beginnings, I've listened and talked and yada, yada, yada. But what they were telling me was, we want to see a man and his family do it. We don't want to see a man part of a group do it. We want to see a man and his family do it. Yes, Sister Cassie, yes, we are. Mr. Arbel Senior says some of his people are uptight and jumpy when I met some of his people in my state back in December. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into for those of you who know my channel, you know my experience. So I'm very blessed to be where I am right now. But people want to see a family do it. But Melvin Gray said, FYI, the Berkey filters advertised for $148. In your cart, it's $133.20 with free shipping. Hallelujah. Bless you, brother. Thank you. So, but I did learn from him a lot, and I learned from Pastor Fox. But Pastor Fox took me under his wing. Pastor Fox, when I spent the time on Shofar Mountain, he took me under his wing, and he spit game to me, some real game to me. It was an honor to be able to sit with him and talk with him and have him put game in my ear that I took to heart and came out here and did many of the things that he said. Brother Herschel said, I like listening to Pastor, but I don't need to be a servant. To be honest, I haven't listened to him in years now, so I have no idea what really, but people come to me. Hey, did you hear about this? Nah. Hey, did you hear about? Nah. I'm over here doing this. I'm over here doing me. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my family, my brothers and sisters. That's what I'm doing right now. So all the extra stuff, I try to stay out of that stuff because it don't pertain to me. It's been 7 years. It's been 7 years, so I'm chilling over here. I'm cool. Now, does that mean that they still? I get they're actually talking about you. That's cool. I don't give a damn. I still don't think all things in common or being somebody's servant, just like Brother Herschel said, is the way of doing it. It is what it is. I'm gonna keep speaking it too. It is what it is. I don't see that in the book. So if that means that people don't like me because I don't see it in the book and I talk about it and I show it people and people come out and say, shit, I want to buy my own land. I want to be a patriarch. I want to have preeminence over my own stuff. I want to have an inheritance for my children's children. Shit, that's what I'm about to say. You brothers seem more humble spirits. Bless you guys. Yes, I agree. Great teacher, but not feeling their program. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Very thank you, Chris, as it showed me I could do it. And that's the thing, brothers. We all can do it. We can do it as brothers. We can. But it takes brother Arvel. We might have to talk, brother. Woo. I just say this. I spent a lot of time doing my own independent research, and I came to some very different conclusions based on the word, not based on I have to have your spirit in order to understand it your way. I'm talking about based on the words that I see in this book. I read the book, studied the book, and I came across some startling different conclusions. And I was like, whoa, what the? Whoa. I don't see that. But I don't see how we're not supposed to be talking about people, but yet we talk about people. But yet we should be hearing everybody's side of the story, right? But then if I talk to that brother, then I'm wicked because I want to hear his side of the story, but shouldn't I be trying to hear his side of the story? Isn't that what happened with the story of Daniel and Susanna? when Susanna was falsely accused by 2 elders who tried to sleep with her? And Daniel said, are y'all going to convict the daughter of Zion to death without first hearing, without first doing a cross-examination? I'm just saying. I can stand up and say that shit. So if somebody comes to me and says, well, you need to stop talking to that brother. Why? Because that brother did this. Well, then I should talk to that brother then, right? I want to go talk to that brother then. I should hear his side of the story. That's what the book says. So I'm going to go do it. Well, you wicked if you do it. You can call him whatever the fuck you want to. That shit don't bother me. I'm going to go do what the book said. I'm going to stand on what the book said. And if that means that people don't like me, so the hell what? Because at the end of the day, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I'm living my life. I got my family, my children. All the rest is, and it's water under the bridge to me. Everybody, I had a saying OG told me way back in the day. He said, listen, young blood, this is exactly how he said it. Maybe not word for word, spend some time. Yes, young blood. Most of these niggas out here gonna talk shit about you. But you gotta understand, niggas only talk shit about you when they ain't got no other way to affect your ass. He said, so when they're talking, let them talk shit. They have a mouth and they got a right to use it. You just keep doing what you supposed to be doing. And at the end of the day, what you doing is always going to go contradictory to what the fuck they saying. That's what he said to me. So if a person's talking shit about me, but I'm still walking, I ain't got to respond. My life, my fruit is my response. You can keep talking. You can keep talking, but I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep walking. And you can say something about me, cool. I'm going to keep walking. And if I fall and you talk shit about me while I'm on the ground, cool. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep walking. And if that's your life, if your life is about trying to see other people fall so you can say, see, that's the judgment. That's cool. That is cool. I just think it's kind of gay for you to be following around men like that. I'm just saying. I don't give my attention to people like that. As a man, I don't be walking around following a bunch of dudes trying to figure out when is the last time they're going to fall, when's the next time they're going to fall. I don't do that shit. I just keep pushing. And by your fruit, you shall know them. So I'm concerned about producing good fruit. And when I find out that there's branches that need to be hewn, I ask the Father, reveal to me so that this tree can be pruned. If somebody points out something inside of me and I see it and I say, damn, they right. Then guess what? They right. A person says, you this, brother, or you need to look at that, brother. Cool. I have people telling me, hey, brother, you know, you would probably reach more people if you stopped cussing so much. And I thought about it. And I was like, shit. Stopping cussing is kind of hard. I've done it my whole life. But slowly I work on it, little by little. That's what I'm talking about, bro, Arbel. That's what I'm talking about. I walk him, brother, you hit it right there. That's what I strive to do. In Sirach 3:24, it says, strive for the truth unto death. Sorry, Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and Yahweh will fight for thee. So that's what I do. I strive for the truth unto death, and he will do my fighting. And sometimes Yah's fighting is not him lifting up a sword. Sometimes his fighting is, I'm going to have you bear some more fruit, brother. Because that fight is won by simply how you walk. You ain't got to lift up a sword. You ain't got to lift up a sword, brother. You ain't got to go and punk nobody out. You ain't got to call nobody a bitch nigga. You ain't got to turn back to the ways that I delivered you from. All you got to do is just keep walking in my ways. I got you. And for brothers, that's the same thing with you. You keep walking in his ways and they can talk, and it's not, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about just anybody in general who wants to talk shit about you. You just keep walking. It could be your family. It could be your ex-pastor. It could be your ex, You know, a woman that was part of your house at one point, they can talk all day long. You just keep moving. And if you move that way, let them talk. Because at the end of the day, where are you and where are they? And if somebody is so interested in your life that they have to keep looking at it, there's something demonically driving inside of them where they got an addiction to you. They have an overwhelming fascination with your life. I'm just saying. I mean, people say shit, and I just keep on pushing, brothers. I just keep on pushing. You know, and the thing is, brothers, I try to present in the best way. How I talk right here is how I talk in real life. When you see my wives come up on the channel and you see the chokers, I don't say, take it off, you know, because I want to give this perception. Nah, that's my custom in my household. It ain't your custom for your household. So you ain't got to do it. And I'm not going to teach you have to do it. That's my custom here. And if somebody don't like it, I'm not asking them to like it. I didn't ask them to do it. So if they don't like it, that's cool. Don't do it. But if a brother, if I fellowship with a brother, and a brother, if his wife had on a skirt that most would not consider long enough, I don't go to him and be like, hey, nigga, yeah, hey, you can't have that. Want to know what I say? I don't trespass in that brother's property. And his wife is his property. If she don't got a head covering on, that ain't shit for me to say. That's his wife. So when I see trespassing take place, and a man wants to trespass into my household and try to tell me, you still doing this, brother? Nigga, you can't see? Hell yeah, I'm still doing it. You can see it. I just keep walking that way, because that's the way y'all sent me to go. That's the way y'all sent me to go. So I'm doing it. And that's what we did. That was our way, our custom as men of Yah. Cussing and living out the way is what made me continue to watch your channel. I just try to put, I just try to put it out real, you know what I'm saying? I don't try to make it frilly-frally. I don't try to bedazzle it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember that commercial? The bedazzle, bedazzle your wallet. You could bedazzle. I don't try to bedazzle. I don't try to put no extras on the shit. I just keep it real. Because when Yah came to me, he came to me real. He didn't come to me, but he didn't try to make the faith look beautiful so I could walk in it. He didn't promise me a bunch of blessings. He showed me my filth first. That's what he did. So if y'all looking for something perfect, y'all looking for somebody who don't sin, you on the wrong channel. You on the wrong channel. Y'all on this channel have witnessed my mistakes. You have witnessed them. I don't pull the videos off. They're still up. You've witnessed my mistakes. And you want to know what that does for me also? That keeps me in a state of humility. It keeps me in a state of humility. So I could never look at somebody else and be like, look at you, you dumbass. I can't ever say that. So I keep the shit real. You've seen my mistakes. It is what it is. So that lets y'all know, hey, at the end of the day, I'm just like y'all. Striving. That's what we do as brothers. We strive. And sometimes my brother may fall, and I gotta be there to help him up. And sometimes I fall, and my brothers are there to help me up. But it's never there's times that I humble myself to my brothers. Hey, brother, what's your advice in this situation? And there are times that they humble themselves to me and they say, hey, brother, what's your advice in this situation? But we humble and submit ourselves one to each other in the love of Yah. I don't look at somebody and say, well, you're an elder, you got it all together. I look at my brother and say, hey, we're in the same trench, brother. I'm just thankful that I have somebody to walk this with. Thank you, brother. Thank you for looking at me and being willing to walk this out with me. That's what I see and say. Faux daddy, strive and then thrive. We make mistakes, we learn and grow. That's real right there. Faux daddy, that's real. That's what we do. That is what we do. When Yah is loving enough to tell us and chasing us and let us know, hey, you off. And I'm gonna whoop your ass. I love you. I chasing those whom I love, but you gotta get back on the path. So don't nobody on this channel, don't nobody have to think that because you've done wrong that I'm gonna look at you any different. I'm gonna look at you like you Israel. That's how I'm gonna look at you. Hey brother, I effed up. Welcome. Welcome, brother. You ain't gotta put on no show for me. Please don't put on no show for me. Just show me the real you. Because I would, I tell that to the sisters. Show me the real you so I can love the real you. And the parts of you that are in error, I will correct. But I don't want to think that you something. You know how dudes do it. They be trying to wine and dine, a woman when they first come in the household, or when they're courting, they get this perception. I'm a wine and diner. And then she comes to the house and she's like, what happened to all that whining and dining? I can't afford that. I use my credit card to do that shit back there. You ain't gotta worry about that with me. Likewise, I just want the real y'all. Who are you? Who are you? Mother Lane Block said, when I asked where the collection plate money was going in the last church I went to, the pastor told my husband I was a demon possessed. How dare you ask where the money's going? My husband laughed at him, and it was the last time we attended. Don't ask where that money is going. Don't ask that. Then she said, my family understands you. We're from an MC, motorcycle club, for those of you who don't know what MC is, in the Bronx. So the cussing is just everyday language for us. Right. I be trying though, but the shit be coming out. It just comes out sometimes, it is what it is. I mean, hopefully you don't find it offensive. Those cuss words were man-made words, judged by man to be cuss words. No worries here. Drive on the way you've been doing it. Hell, I'll cuss with you and say, and what? Hey, yo, hey, I can roll with that, Mr. Arbell, brother Arbell. I can roll with that. I can roll with that. I just want real. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I know sometimes people come to the channel and they're like, wow, he's doing videos on homesteading. And then they hear me say shit. And they're like, what the? You can homestead and say shit? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to give y'all a facade. So it just is what it is. But anyway, digression. No disrespect to anybody that, if I mention, is no disrespect to you. Again, I thank everybody for for helping me and what I learned. I'm thankful I'm over here also. Hallelujah. So just make the moves that y'all gotta make right now in your life. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. I saw a comment I was gonna read. Where is it at? It's way up here. Oh, there it is. C-Note said, I'm a single woman. Oh, I'm sorry. I called you brother like 5 times. I'm a single woman and I don't drive, so I tend to look behind me when I go shopping. That's wisdom. Keep your eyes on your 6. Watch your 6. Watch your 6. Let me say it again. Watch your 6. Know what's taking place all around you. Everybody knows what the book says. Single woman should be covered. I'm a firm believer in that. And I know that people have extenuating circumstances, but everybody should be covered. I'm a firm believer in that. Every sister should be covered. I'm a firm believer in that. Especially with the way the world's going. I'm gonna end this real quick, but I wanna read something to y'all. This is on Drudge Report. It was an article about New York City, and this is why I say the things that I be saying to y'all single sisters about covering. What? See, every time I do this, my internet gonna drag. Like, where is it at? Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, the name of the article is "Violent Killings Shock New York City, Bring Back Bad Memories." Jay Morris, that's the truth, bro. That's the truth. Listen to this. This is the third paragraph of that article. It's on Breitbart. That's the article right there. Michelle Go, a 40-year-old Asian American, died last Saturday when a 61-year-old who was homeless and dealing with mental health issues shoved her in front of a train pulling into the station. So a 61-year-old pushed this woman, a 40-year-old Asian woman, in front of a train as it was pulling into the station, and she got ran over. On January 9th, a 19-year-old woman of Puerto Rican origin, Crystal Byron Neves, was fatally shot during a robbery in the East Harlem Burger King, where she worked. The assailant took about $100 from the till and shot her as he fled. You see that? This is why I talked to you sisters about being covered. It's because these are situations in which women are out there. You know, in order for you to be harmed, you have to be out there in order to be harmed. When you're home on your homestead or wherever it may be, there's safety. And I understand that it takes time, you know, to make that transition. I get that. I get that, you know, a lot, you know, there's brothers that have wives and their wives are working and they're in the process of making that transition. I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all, you keep doing what you're doing. I had to make the transition also. I absolutely understand where y'all coming from. But there's so many women who think that they're just going to walk through these situations that they see are happening. And when it comes to violence, when it comes to demonic people who are filled with thoughts and emotions and demons and they're willing to do whatever it takes, man, man, it's one of the, it's a heart-wrenching thing to think about it, to think about what's happening out there, and people are being victimized and people are being jacked and people are being hurt, and you're a woman and you go grocery shopping just so you can go back to your apartment, your abode, and there's somebody there watching you. He's looking for the easiest, most non-aware victim, and there she is. You know, shit, I'm 6'4" and 255 pounds. I work out every single day. There's not many women who are going to stop me from taking their shit if I want to. There are not many women who are going to stop me if I follow them home and I want to take their shit. There are not many women who are going to stop me. And you see these dudes, there are dudes all over the place with guns and knives, and they're just doing the most. Tuba, bless you, brother. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for your information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But Westhold, you said it, brother. I don't even like being out there. Now I know I have responsibility, but that's one of the things that I'm doing is I'm moving in such a way that I don't, y'all willing, won't have to continue to keep being out there. That's why I have the seed business going on right now. That's why I got the seed business going on. It's because I'm and the sisters are in the process. We're going to be launching very soon a reusable diaper. What do you call those diapers? Hey y'all, what do we call it? Are they called reusable diapers? Cloth diapers. Man, I can't say nothing. Cloth diapers. We're launching that next. That's what we. Okay. No, Herschel Gates, you good. I'm confused about single women being covered. We have another live stream coming on about that topic, brother Herschel Gates. Essentially, a woman, if her husband dies, she still could be covered by the man's family line, by by her sons. If she's got, if they have older sons, they can cover them. We think covering means marriage. Marriage is just one of the forms of covering. For instance, a woman in her father's house is covered. A woman who is under her, like, let's say, what was the root? Esther and Mordecai. That wasn't her husband. That wasn't her father either. Was it cousin? That was her cousin. Mordecai was Esther's cousin. He covered her. You notice how she submitted to him when he gave her certain commands to do. So don't see covering as specifically solely marriage. Now, that's one of the ways to be covered, but that is not the sole way to be covered. So if a woman is, let's say, and we have a whole stream coming out next week, we're going to be hitting on this. I've been taking notes already. But I would say, this is just my opinion, but I looked at some verses, for instance, see, you got me going ahead of time. Look at the story of Romans. Sorry, 1 Corinthians 7. 1 Corinthians 7. Listen to what Paul says. All right, verse 39. Verse 39. A wife is bound by Torah as long as her husband lives. And if her husband dies, she is free to be married to whom she desires only in the master. But she is better. I'm reading in the scriptures version. But verse 40, she is better off if she remains as she is, according to my opinion. So Paul's opinion was, if a woman was married and her husband died, she was better. She can lawfully go get married, but she's better to remain as she is. And I think I also have the Ruach of Elohim. So he's calling the Ruach. He's saying, I think I have the Ruach, but it's my opinion that if her husband dies, she should just remain single. That yep, Mr. Arbel, yes, cousins, uncles, etc. That's why patriarchy and what we're talking about is so important, because, like my wife, they said after me they don't want nobody else. So as a man now, I start having to use I understand what I'm building now. I understand what I'm building. This is one of the reasons, now this is my opinion, why I believe, I believe it was Sister Ebel said, well, what happens if there's a bump in the night? That's why I believe that I'm gonna say this, polygyny is a very effective thing, because I'm gonna pose a question now. I'm gonna pose a question. This is a question. Let's say a man has 3 wives. All right. I have 2. So let's say a man has 3 and he dies. And one of the women says, I want to remarry. And the other 2 say, I don't. What happens now? And she says, I'm leaving to get remarried because I have the lawful right to go do it. And she does. But she takes some of the children with her. Now do you start to see what's happening in that man's house? Do you see what's happening in that man's house now? One wife is gone with a couple of his children. Or are all the wives supposed to go? What if they don't want to get remarried? Like my 2, they don't want to get remarried. They want to just focus on guiding the house. So do you see now how, and this is again, an opinion. This is what the forced monogamous mindset has done. The forced monogamous mindset has created where, there isn't really a safety, and men aren't really planning for their households like that. That's why I vehemently disagree. Somebody had said, I believe that Yah would break that vow. Where do you see that in the book? Numbers chapter 5 clearly says that Yah honors all vows. All vows. That the husband has to break the vow. And if he doesn't break the vow the first time he hears it, then it's intact. So that's why we were saying when a woman died, or if the husband died, if we were back in our ancient times, you don't see remarriage. You don't see a man dying, except for the situation of Nabal and Ruth, where you don't see male sons. When there's male sons, you don't see that process of women going off and getting remarried again. Mother Kate came in here and said, talking about Tamar, was it Tamar? I think she was talking about Tamar, who had been widowed 3 times, then got with Judah and had children. So I'm just trying to put this in a perspective so that we understand that he's saying that she is not bound by the law to her husband. See, Mr. Arbel, that's a great question, brother. That's a great question. The first wife sends her away. I've had that question before. It ain't happening here. It ain't happening here. I've taken certain precautions so that it can't happen. Now, Sister T would never want to. Their relationship is so tight that I don't think that they could see going on without the other. The way they are with the children, because they're all my children. The way they are with them, Sister Ebony, I'm just giving you a little dynamic of our household. Sister Ebony will breastfeed the children that came from Sister Tanisha, and vice versa. So they have such a connection between one and another and their sisterhood that it's already been seen that, and Tanisha's already said it in live streams, I couldn't do it without Sister Ebony. And Sister Ebony said, I couldn't do it without Sister Tanisha. Now, if you have a situation in your household where the first wife tries to send the second wife away or the third wife away, that's a monumental failure in the husband's leadership. That's a monumental failure in his running of the household. This is why when I look, are you looking to add to your house? Sure I am. But one of the things I look at is there's certain things. Is she going to follow my vision? Because I have a vision already. That's right. Sister Motherland, that's exactly it. They don't see it as my baby, your baby. They see it as, hey, these are his children. These are his children. He's the patriarch of the household. So Ebony doesn't, she doesn't, get mad. If they have a disagreement, she don't go and grab her children and go off to the corner. And then she's got her children and go off to the corner. They say, these are our children. These are our children. All of them. When Sister Ebony came in here, she didn't have any children. She had 0. So the 2 that she has are from me. But when she came in, she was mothering the ones that me and Tanisha had as if they were her own. So it's just a beautiful connection. But we'll talk about it more. I don't want to go too far into it, but there's certain things that I was studying and looking, just today from yesterday's stream. And I was like, see, polygyny eliminates some of these things, because if a man has 2 wives or 3 wives, you don't ever have to face that I'm alone. If a bump goes in the night, there's 3 of them, or 5 of them, or 2 of them. And then you start having sons, and the sons start growing up. And now you've got sons who can literally, we have a mother in the faith right now who was covered by her sons. She's covered. But we'll go deeper into that in that stream. I don't want to give too much of the tidbits. I'm doing some serious studying. But I think that when men look to add to their house, you have to start wondering, what's going to happen to my name if I go first? If I die first, what's going to happen to my name? Is my name going to be absorbed into somebody else's household? Or is my name going to be my name? Is the rock going to forever be associated with the patriarch Chris? Or brother Chris? Or at some point, is it going to be absorbed by somebody else? So I hope that helped, Brother Herschel. So no, covering is not it's not only marriage. It's who is the man that is covering that woman. And biblically, we can see consistently it was a blood relative, a kinsman. A kinsman. And that's why, even for the story, just going a little bit further, like the story of Ruth, that's why, and remember, Ruth had been married before, but Ruth didn't have any children. And Ruth had a sister, and when the famine hit, Naomi told Ruth and her sister, go back to your people. Ruth and Naomi said, Well, Ruth said, Naomi, your people are going to be my people, and your God's going to be my God. So Ruth, the Moabitess, followed Naomi back to her people, Israel. And even though she had been married, she had not had a male son. She went and, Sister Susan, shalom. Ruth went and married Boaz, which provided a covering for Naomi. So Naomi was an older woman, but is now covered by the household of Boaz. And then we were talking earlier today, Ebony was talking, and she said that's also why in biblical times, men had servants. So if something were to happen to the man, the house is still rolling. You got servants in the household. You have male sons that are 15, 16 years old. You have wives. She's still covered. Today, because of what we've learned in society, it's been taught to us monogamy is the only option. And when the man dies, the woman's, she's, SOL. She out of luck. She loses everything because she can't afford it. That's why men, as patriarchs, we have the responsibility of building. We buy lands. We set our families up on our property. We provide the infrastructure. We are husbandmen. We build up. We raise things up. We raise children. We raise our wives. We build. We strengthen. Does that mean Abraham failed in leading his home? Sarah told him to send Hagar and Ishmael away, but Yah told him to take heed to his wife's word. I can't comment on Abraham's story because Hagar tried to leave the first time. But when I look at it, I don't see it as a failure in Abraham's leadership. I look at it and I say, Abraham, the seed was supposed to go through Isaac, not through Ishmael. The House of Maccabee said it right there. Originally, they went to Naomi to see if she had more sons. And why didn't it? Okay, there it is. And she told them to go back to her people. Basically, she will not be having any more sons. Her husband died and her sons died, so she had nobody to cover her. And Brother Jay Morris, that's the Torah, brother. Brother Jay Morris said that's deep thought. Without a son to carry on a name, what happens when a man dies? That's why in the Bible it says, if a man has not born, a son, and he dies, the wife's job was to go to and marry his next of kin, his brother. The brother was to go into her, sorry. The brother was to go into her and bear a male seed in the name of the brother so that his name was not removed from Israel. That son kept the man's lineage alive. That son was important in that man's name continuing in Israel because the name was passed on through the sons. The daughters are eventually going to go and join another man's house. So she may be from the house of Chris, but when she goes and marries whoever, she's going to be from the house of whoever. She's no longer part of my house. She's part of his house now. But the son carries on the house name. The house of Chris goes down to the sons and my son's sons and my son's son's sons. So that inheritance continues, and it continues my name. It continues the household, the household of Davis. It continues the household of Davis. The household of Davis continues. That Westful Forge, you see, he said something right there. This was from the beginning. It happened with Judah's sons. This is exactly how the book was written. It was written, it was a bloodline thing. It was very much so a bloodline thing. Men built their homes. They built their houses as men. That's what it was. Now, today we don't have that. So now we have so many women that are running around uncovered because if you die, man, because we did not build a house, when we die, her only option is to take the children and go to another man's house. Because our fathers aren't in the faith, our brothers aren't in the faith, our uncles aren't in the faith, her family's not in the faith. So as first generation patriarchs, what we're doing is we are the sacrifice men. We are laying the groundwork as Abraham did for Isaac. And we're laying the groundwork so that when Jacob comes along, let's just say something were to happen to Jacob. Well, you've got children, you've got sons, you've got everybody can take care of Leah and Rachel and Bilhah and Zilpah. They're taken care of because Jacob had a whole household. He had a whole household of people. So if something happened to him, the daughters or the wives weren't just out on their own. These are the things that we have to look at when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to how we're living, and we have to ask ourselves the question, how are we really living how they did in the book, or are we kind of duplicating how modern society is, which is modern society can't wait for the husband to die. And you remember, Paul was in Rome. And most of the society that we have today is cultured off of Rome. This is why when you have that understanding and you start reading the Bible, it makes you wonder, like, man, as a man, you have a tall responsibility to build your house. Building your house is a tall responsibility. That is a major responsibility as a man, to build your home, to build your name. And that's why the Bible talks about, y'all wanted to wipe out people's names. Now you know why. You want their name gone. So having, the structure that we are supposed to be having in this faith is super important. We don't know it because we've been, Western Christianized. Western Christianity has taught us so many things that are actually contrary to the way our people actually live. If something were to happen to us as men, do we have something set up for our wives? Wife or wives, our children. And I mean more than just the idea of why have life insurance. More than just that. Because I just want you to really think about it. And think about this week. We're going to talk about it on Disturbers of Israel channel next Friday night. But think about it. If you die and your wife, in order for her to make it, she has to join another man's house. What happens to your name? What happens to what you built? I'm just presenting this honestly. If you have land and she moves off your land, who's taking care of your land? That's right, Westful. That's right. Sister New World said, if the woman has a child by her brother-in-law and it's a girl, is it considered handing down the bloodline? I don't think so, sister, because remember, it was that his name not be removed out of Israel. And that name went through the men. Yes, House of Maccabee just said it. In most cases, when they say raise up a seed, it's a son. That's in most cases, it was a son. Brother Melvin said, it's gone. Ties to one of the many things you must put in order. It's gone. Most men's houses are gone. It is gone. And again, when you read the Bible, you don't see this she's dead. You know, despite the fact Paul was what he said was true. She is free from the law. She is free from the law of her husband. That's a fact. The law of the husband, but what did Paul then say? It is better if she doesn't get remarried. Why? Why? Man has 3 wives. He dies. One woman says, well, I want to go get remarried. Another 2 say, we don't. Family's broken up now. Family's broken up now. Brother Jay Morris said, yes, I'm seeing the importance of building a house, not just land and a home. The more I learn in this walk. Hallelujah, brother. I'm learning too, brother. The more I study, you know, when we wash our minds and start understanding this from our original culture, instead of reading the book in a more modern culture, we start saying, wow, now I get it. Now I understand why a name is important. Building your house is important. Patriarchy is important. Because the hope is that this world's hope is that they could erase the name of Israel off the face of the earth. The same thing that Pharaoh was trying to do in Egypt. Kill the males. Why? Because the males carry the name. But yet, we'll incorporate the females into our culture. Why? Because by breeding out, by these females being incorporated into Egypt, they're going to assimilate into Egypt the same thing we see today in today's society. Food stamps, cash aid, we'll take care of them. We'll take care of the women. That's what Egypt says. That's what the government says. Well, let's kill the men. Let's get rid of the men. Because by getting rid of the men, you get rid of the name. By getting rid of the men, you get rid of the name being passed down. That's why there's always been that attack on men, because you kill men, you kill the name. That's why. That's why Pharaoh's attack was so, there it is, Lord Jamo, Willie Lynch. And you know, Westhold, listen to this. It didn't start out biblical, but my dad knew it was important for the name to go on. That's important, brother, because that just shows this is what people understood back then that we don't understand today. They don't understand. We don't understand. I mean, everybody understood it back then. That was the way men lived. Be fruitful, multiply, have children, have sons, have daughters. Raise your daughters up right so that you can give your daughters away to other righteous men's sons. Raise your sons up right to continue your name. They understood that back then. Today, we don't. Today, it's have a boy and have a girl. That's it. What about the be fruitful and multiply? Gone. Have one son, have one daughter, and live the American dream, which is dead. Effectively killing any chance of inheritance, killing any chance of anything. Essentially wiping out your name. This culture has told us and taught us some things that we've accepted as truth, we've accepted as reality, but it's only damned us. It's only hurt us. And we keep trying to perfect this thing that is killing us. And you can't. That's why I talk about the things that I do. Sisters get covered. Because if you have a bunch of women that aren't covered, you have a culture that's destructive. And I saw the sister said that she was in California. What was her name? C-Note said, trust me, I want to be covered, but here in California, that's hard to find. Well, if you remember the Bible, when women wanted to be covered, they left their location to where the man was. Ebony left Atlanta, Georgia, to come out here to the Ozarks. I met Tanisha in California. She was from LA. I'm from San Diego. She left where she was and moved where I was, and then we both moved. You know, everywhere I moved, she came out. So we went from here to Arizona, then Arizona to here. But women notoriously left where their location was and moved to where their husband was. That's how it was done. That's how it was done in biblical times. And that's how it was done. And in the biblical times, even to before the feminist movement hit, women had no problem moving. Lord Jamo said, the family is the body. The man is the head. You cut off the head, the body will drop. But in today's society, we have a lot of headless women. Oh, Westful, you killing it. And it was of utmost importance for him to have land so his family would always have a home. Woo! It's a personal mission for me to make sure that little piece of land always carries our name. Brother, that's the truth. And that's the truth. And that's where land is important. Because with land, you have a home. You can build a home. As long as you pay in this society the taxes on it, you're going to have a home. And when your taxes are under $200, you have a home. You have a home. Therefore, you have a name. You know, when Yahshua or when Yah was talking to Israel, it was always about a land, a land, a land, a land, a land flowing with milk and honey, a land. Men strove for land. Men fought wars for land. Because by having land, you have a place to place your resources. If you have a land and you've got children and you've got wives, there's a place of safety. That's a place of safety. So if something were to happen to the man, you've got it set up already. There's a land, there's a home, there's security. But we've assimilated to this westernized culture that taught us when the man dies, the woman now has to go to work. She now has to depend on the government. She now has to go and maybe wipe out a man's name by joining another man's house. You know, if I perish off this earth and my family is not taken care of, I failed as a man. I failed as a man. If my family's only resource is to go and run somewhere else, I have failed as a man. That's my opinion of myself. I'm not asking anybody else to have that opinion. That's my opinion of myself, that I have failed as a man to handle my responsibilities in life and after I'm gone. Oh, okay, bro, Daryl Vic. Okay, I see what you're saying. So when I mentioned Ecclesiastes 11:9 earlier, my point was that people can choose to do what they want when the warning comes, but Yah will judge them for whether they choose to take heed or not. Brother, that's the truth. That is the truth, the absolute truth. That is the absolute truth, brother. Now, what we're saying, what I'm saying in this last part, and what you hear in the Disturbers of Israel, for those of you who were part of the stream last night, and we'll be there next Friday, is this thing is big. It sounds so foreign to our ears because we've never heard it before. But if you study the book, you'll see that what we're talking about when we're saying lines up more with the book than what this country has taught us. My mentor told me land is the basis of independence. Every revolution was for land. Lord Jamo, your mentor is a genius, whoever he is. That is it. If you want independence, it starts with land. It starts with land. You need a place. You need a home base. Always been like that. Always been like that. But that's the way it should be. Hallelujah. Well, you know, I know you said Westful Forge, your dad did it, your dad started it, but you're continuing it. And that's what we need. That's a patriarchal mindset. That's what houses and homes and bloodlines are built off of. And I really hope that we get it. I really hope that we get it. I really hope that, you know, you look at it right now, if a man has land, you can grow some food right now. You can grow an abundance of food right now. An abundance of food right now. And adequately protect your food. You know, I had somebody ask me, you know, what do you think about going to an empty lot and growing food there? I mean, it's food, but it's not yours. I mean, just being real. Anybody that's out there is going to go on is going to run into that lot and take the food off of it. But if it's your land and you are able to protect your land and your food, you've got it. You've got it. You know, people take trespassing very serious the further you get away from the city. When you get out here, way out here, people take trespassing like life and death. There are people that will shoot first and ask questions later. That no trespassing sign means don't trespass. It literally means that. Do not come on my land uninvited. If you have mail, you know, you let them know. If you have a package, you put it in the front. Out here, they'll ring you. They'll let you know, hey, they'll give you a call, you're a package. The mailman may honk their horn, beep, beep, to let you know you got a package. They take these things very mailman said, yep, you better call first. There ain't no just stopping by. Hey, I was just stopping by and see how you're doing. Nah. People don't just stop by and say hi. Mm-mm. Invitation only. I'm just hoping that this, you know, from the beginning to where we are right now with this stream, it opens up somebody's eyes. If there's no questions, are there any questions? If they're not, we're going to stop this at 3 hours. I'm going to go spend some time with the family. Woo, Brother Jay Morris. Hallelujah, brother. I need to hear this. I got to get out of my own way mind and try to have a son. Brother. Yes, sir. You need to taste the soul? Yes, sir. I got you, brother. Mother Elaine said, defending your land is not always gun. We just got a German Shepherd who warns us if anyone is. That's right. Mother, that's true. And she's right. Let me retract that. It's not always bang bang. It's having deterrences on your property. You have a dog, you have two. That dog will buy you some time. And at the end of the day, if somebody's, I'm just being real. You know, if a person's trying to jack somebody else, who are they going to jack? The guy who's 6'4", 255, or the woman that is 5'2", $120? Who is the thief going to go after first? But Brother Maccabee, I got you, brother. I hit you up. Yes, sir. I'm just saying. And one thing that, you know, my wives, I mean, they everywhere they go on this property, they heat. They got some heat. You all saw the videos. We got some heat. They got their Taurus G2Cs on their hip everywhere they go. So, and they train. Like I said, Sister Ebony, she's my little CIA agent. When I was starting to teach her to shoot, She was probably 8 yards away and was pinholing her shots. And I, when she started shooting, pop, pop, pop. And I looked at her like, what kind of CIA training do you have? Like, what the, huh? Are you serious? We got some shooting contests. In fact, we got some more we got coming up. You get Tanisha a rifle, it's over. And now I'm teaching the children. Just saying. Safety first, obviously. How to handle it appropriately. All right. I don't see no questions. I hope y'all have a blessed week. For those of you that are interested in buying vegetable seeds, you can see the hood to homestead at yahoo.com. That's the email address. Send me an email and I'll send you a list with the prices, and then we can work it out from there. I have cuttings. I have drew some artichokes, although those are going fast. People are buying those things up like crazy. I have mint cuttings. I have propagations will be ready in spring. Egyptian walking onions will be ready in spring, and I should have some garlic soon. But I got seeds and cuttings, blackberry cuttings, and we can talk about it. I hope you all have a blessed week. Please don't get distracted. Hone in on where it is that y'all's telling you to go and what to do, and go do that thing without fear, and do it with a haste that he would want you to move in. Bless y'all. Thank you. You want the walking onion? Westfall? I got you, brother. Hit me. Send me a message. They're not gonna be ready till spring, but send me a message, brother. Bless y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the communication. Thank you for the questions. Hopefully it was a blessing to somebody, and hopefully nobody took this stream as disrespect, because how these fragile ass people are. Bless y'all again. Shalom.